Hello, hello, welcome to the war room. I guess I had to go live there. There we go. I'm still waiting for the chat to drop here. 15 minutes now. Hello, folks. Golden Horde was great horde. Thanks for video. Thank you, my dearest friends, for watching me. Let's see. 1 second. I guess you guys can see the stream now. I can't see it myself, but you know. 1 second, please. Let's see if I can. There we go. Let's see if I can actually get the chat over here. This is like our third stream in total, so I'm still getting used to some of the controls, how to get the chat going at the beginning, but I guess we're live, so there is that. There we go. VVS Vinicio, thank you for resubscribing, I guess, rejoining. I was reading out the members list today and I saw that you were gone, so it's nice that you came back. And we are live. Thank you, folks. Let's see, will you please try playing one of the Irish tribes and please try to become a monarchy and form Ireland? I definitely intend to do that at some point, but not today. Today we are going to take a look at what's new with the 1.3 open beta. And before that, let me give you guys a tiny little sneak peek here of what I've been up to for the last day. Hello, hello. How did the John guy steal first play for me? And when I sent more messages, yeah, YouTube is kind of weird. Alright, so we are live. We have 11 people in the stream right now, I guess. Playing the Golden Horde just before. They added a 15 legitimacy button for everyone? Oh, crumbs, really? Is that like a new estate interaction? Anyways, this is where we are with the Golden Horde run right now. We basically conquered all of China. And that's basically it. We even got most of Mongolia going. In fact, we are China ourselves. We don't have debug mode on, but if I had that, we could show you that we actually have the China tag. So we get everything that China does. And we are the leader of the Middle Kingdom. We have just reformed it. And this is a very tricky strategy, by the way, so I guess you guys will definitely enjoy it when the video releases for everyone tomorrow. And for now, it is available for our members. Now, let's see. You said there's an extra 5 diplomats. Emergency levies. Let's see. Where exactly is the additional legitimacy button? I can't really find that one. Really? Just for 15% clergy estate satisfaction. That is nuts. Yeah, this just runs counter to the whole design philosophy, I guess, of EU5, where basically they were trying to move away from single click buttons into more, gradual, more simulationist aspects. This is so bad. Yeah, that's definitely unfortunate. Because we would not be forced to, convert to orthodoxy since they added this button. Plus 15 legitimacy, and just for some estate satisfaction. These interactions, I'm fairly sure that they're going to get nerfed, because that's just insane. That is amazing. Yes, the new government reforms, I wanted to take a look at those as well. So we get this cool little reform, and by the way, when you form China, when you become the leader of the Middle Kingdom, you get plus 50 base, which then gets modified by the Kipchak Khanate advance that you have, because we started as the Golden Horde. So we have 75, 80 cultural capacity as a base, and this is going to go even further, so that's just amazing. Automation settings. Oh, and we can go directly to the automation menu now. That's interesting. Let's see, do we have any... Oops. Do we have any other government reforms? Anything nice here? I guess most of the best reforms are hidden in the later ages. Oh, that's new, I guess, because 5% discipline minus 10% weaponry output. Okay, that's really funny, actually. That's like, that's very thematic, And then we have righteous government, monthly literacy, monthly legitimacy, very strong. At the other edge, at the other end of the synicized versus unsynicized value, you also get culture's capacity, cultural influence, and tolerance of the true faith. So, really, really amazing. Yeah, very interesting stuff. Yep, you get so much cultural capacity for being the head of the Middle Kingdom. In fact, you know what we're going to do here? I think what we're going to do is, let's see, Trebizond. I'm going to go to maybe this, or maybe even later. But this should show us most of the government reforms that are available to you in the later ages. So we'll just wait for the save to load, and hopefully it doesn't crash because it was from the 1.2 patch. And when the save is loaded, we are going to take a look and see what exactly they have added, which new government reforms that we have access to. And there we go, we're back in the Roman Empire after that extremely long series. And let's see, plutocratic monarchy. Yeah, literally, okay, plus 10% trade income in exchange for minus 2.5% maximum tax. That's interesting. What else? Thalassocracy, I think they had that one already. Peasant land inheritance. 5% tax efficiency. That's nice. Licensing of the press. I feel like we had this as well. Every value on the value screen. Oh, that's interesting. Ah, there we go. Oh, wow. This is some really nice UI work here, by the way. It's still a bit crumped. Like, no, it's a bit. Well, it's nice. It's nice. What else do we have here? Agrarian communities, Shield of the Faith. I think that they just added this one. +2 possible clerics in literally every single location, and grants access to the Fortress Church, which does nothing, I guess. I mean, who would ever build this? Noblesse Oblige, +33% institution growth. Interesting. Max control +10%. But it's in the selected province, so that's very interesting. Rural oligarchy. Oh, that's additional possible burgers. +10% raw materials output. Oh my god. +20% max RGO size and +15% population capacity. That is insane. And you have to be 50 quantity, 50 serfdom, so that's basically another serfdom buff. Tailored urban rights. I guess they added this with the other patch, with the previous patch. And technically this does make some amount of sense towards going for land. Max rural control +5%. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So if you go full decentralized, full aristocracy, which you want to do anyways, you get +5% max rural control. That is a lot. And we have the Mos Maiorum for additional crown power and Latinitas progress. Very nice. What else? These are, I guess, the unique abilities. Integration offices, 20% speed of annexation. This is basically nothing because it is the additive modifier. It does not reduce the amount of stuff that you have to pay. It just increases the progress, and it's very minor compared to other thingies. Agrarian community is amazing. Let's see, agrarian community, charter of religious freedom. What the? +50% max RGO size in exchange for -100% conversion speed and 20% local food production too. And oh my god, this is amazing. +2 tolerance of heretics and heathens and 25% pop assimilation speed. This is amazing. Oh, but it requires you to be 50 traditionalist, and seriously, who on earth is going to go traditionalist just to get this thingy here? Innovative is still the meta, so I don't think that's ever going to see any sort of use. Let's see, what else? Did you guys have a chance to check this out? Check out like the new reforms? To the gymnasium, that's oh. Wait, what? Okay, so that's really interesting. Now, so traditionalist actually has some stuff now, like 20% education affairs is, I think, a slightly underrated ability. And more importantly, you get the gymnasium for 5% research and 5% max literacy. Let's see, are there any other? Yeah, you just have to have study of the classics. So that's technically an additional 5% max literacy too, going for traditionalist. It's still not 10%, but combined with the other reform that we just showed, it might actually make sense. Commoner council rights, I don't think this is going to matter all that much. Bit of monthly prosperity, tyranny of the capital. Align estate, what on earth is this? Okay, that's interesting. Well, maybe, kinda, sorta, but innovative still seems strong. The one way that it might make sense would be if you manage to go for that one plus a study of the classics. So you still get 5% max literacy and 5% monthly research. But other than that, I think innovative is still the meta here. Let's see, what else do we have? What else do we have? Give me everything you got. Nothing much here, it seems. Mining communities was there. Universal serfdom was there. Horse artillery corps. Everybody loves horse artillery, but I don't think that's going to matter. This bad boy is still very strong. Stability investment efficiency. So I'm not quite sure about this this efficiency modifiers thingy, because on one hand I think they added a 50% cap. I'm not really sure how exactly it works, but from what I understood, they basically said you can stack these efficiency modifiers as much as you want, but once you get to 100 or 200% efficiency, I believe, it stops mattering more. So I guess that's to prevent infinite modifier stacking, but again, I don't think that's a good change here. And again, 15 loyalty of subjects. These we already had, I guess. Professional trade guards. Commoners allowed to build roads. That's a very interesting one. Colonial Empire. This can give you actually a good amount of income, but I wish that this income from colonial subjects here, I wish this was like a plus 20% base. Like the base right now is 2%. If it was more than that, it would make sense. But right now, this is just 0.4% additional money that you're getting from them, which is basically nothing. Fueling economies, I think we had this, or a similar effect. I'm not quite sure. Guaranteed labor rights, I think the action here is broken. I'm not quite sure, but you know, it's there. Nautical education, max literacy for soldiers, free market charters, mass levy system, logistics distance, yada yada yada, modernization of urban rights, plus 5% max urban control and minus 50% the cost of revoking urban rights. That actually makes a bit of sense, because towards the later stages of the game, you do kind of want to get rid of some urban rights, such as the granary towns and stuff. So that might be useful, but it does require you to go towards land. I mean, if they just change the naval governors out for additional land governors if you go for land, I think that would solve it and balance each other out. But right now, if you're playing the meta, you essentially want to go naval for the additional governors, and there really is no comparison there. Let's see, what else do we have? Prioritize military shipbuilding. I feel like this was still in the game. The allotment definitely was in the game. Mercenary registration, humanitarian administration, all of this stuff. Visionary thinkers, again, this was in the game. I think the stuff that we saw so far was the majority of the new reforms, I guess. I haven't seen anything new in the right-hand section over here. Calculated decay. This was here. State-backed merchant fleet. Maybe they added this one newly. Let's see what else. Are you talking about like the allotment system? That's interesting, because I'm not quite sure how strong soldier levies are, but if they're stronger than I remember, that could make sense. That could be a really strong one. Oh, that's interesting. You also get to see which new reforms you unlock in every single age. And so that makes a lot of sense. I guess most of the new government reforms are in the first 3 ages, or maybe the Age of Reformation too, because we don't really have a lot of new stuff in the last 2 ages, except for maybe modernization of urban rights and guaranteed labor rights. Maybe nautical education, again, I'm not quite sure. But we have a lot of new reforms, and this stuff is very interesting too. Like, you can get a lot of emergency taxes, extra levies. This is definitely going to see a decent amount of use. Bribing the estates is still there. 5 diplomats could be useful in a pinch, and the reductions are still there and you can still get a lot of money from them. But it's interesting that this reduction for some reason doesn't cost us all that much estate satisfaction. So as it stands right now, performing a lot of reductions is probably going to be the meta. But anyways, also, let's see, can we like do this? And then if we go to denobility, we cannot ask for additional levies. So you can technically ask for extra levies, not just from the nobility and the commoners, but also from the clergy, and I don't think that makes sense. I think this should be changed to like additional clergy levies. So it should probably be extra levies for the estate that you're, oh my god, 20 stability for just 20 commoners estate satisfaction. What the? There is no way that this is balanced. There is literally no way that this is balanced, folks. This is just amazing. And you can get, that is so much money for just minus 10% satisfaction. I mean, who coded this? Who balanced this? This makes no sense. This is just way too powerful. I don't know. I don't think that I really enjoy this system right now. Second, serfdom reform gives giga granaries, like humongous granaries. Let's see. Can we see it if we go over here? Serfdom, government reforms, planned storage system. All right, the grain houses. Plus 100 local food capacity. That doesn't sound very much like a giga granary. Let's see. We don't have serfdom right now, but you know what? Let me see. Let's compare this to like a regular granary. And I think a regular granary gives, how much does that make? 200 local food capacity? Serfdom quantity one, yep. I guess we're looking at the same thingy. I mean, don't regular granaries just give you like plus 200 local food capacity? So how is this bigger than the regular granaries? I'm not really sure. Let's see. Granary. Yep, the normal granaries actually give you more. I don't think that's the main selling point here. I think the main selling point is 20% max RGO size and 15% pop cap. And also, this is serfdom we're talking about, so you can also get universal serfdom for plus 33% crown power, which is always nice. Yes, I'm going to check out the new city rights as well, urban rights as well. So let's see, centralization of power. Provincial taxation, barony rule. I think that barony rule is going to be meta in the early game, both because we get additional nobles in rural locations and 5% max rural control. And also, let me remind you, I believe that they also changed the impact that average control has, both on complacency and on monthly research progress. Hello, Botond Kulchar. I'm definitely going to continue the Golden Horde campaign. In fact, we did a quick sneak peek of it a bit earlier, and basically we intend to reform the entire Mongol Empire, and we're like 2/3 of the way there, so we're definitely going to go for that. And let's see what else. You are first and has 4 million. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, but I don't think that it's going to make all that much of a difference. Also, in the patch notes, it said that the you know what it is, the population growth would be changed a bit. I'm not quite sure how much they changed it, but I think they toned it down a little. Also, performance is bad. Like, I'm getting much less FPS here right now compared to patch 1.2, so that's definitely going to be an issue. And let's see, let's try to hand out maybe an urban right here. So we got Borgo Franco, this was already here. Fortress Town is interesting, 200 soldiers. Increased garrison size and fort defense, that could be useful. I was really looking forward to the Freetown Charter for the additional 20% trade capacity. I guess especially in the early game, you kind of want to mix and match this with maybe the staple port. So if you build like one large city where you put most of your trade buildings, that could be really nice. In fact, let me take away the granary town here so we can see what rights we have. So that's giving us +5 marketplace building levels. And then the free town, oh, is it? Oh, it's exclusive with the staple port. That's very interesting. Humongous, okay. Let's see what else. This was already there. Market charter is also exclusive with staple port, so you can't stack them. Mining charter, has a mining raw good or produces salt inland and gives you +35% maximum RGO size. So this is really interesting because it allows you to essentially urbanize mining locations and still only suffer a 15%, I believe, sort of penalty to your max RGO size. So that's very nice to have. Or maybe, do you get like a +100% for being rural? Let me check. Let's see. Yes, +100%. So it's not as strong as I anticipated at first. I guess it could still be useful. The mining right could still be useful if you begin the game with like a previously urbanized mining center or something like that. And later on with the salt mines, I guess. And studium privileges, that's interesting. Not a lot here, I guess. I don't see why you would put this down, to be honest. Like, the local monthly literacy is very meh. I guess you could use this on market centers to, stimulate institution growth, but other than that, it doesn't seem all that good. Okay, so that was, I guess, it for what it's called the urban rights and the government reforms. Now let's exit to menu and let's take a look at some of the new stuff that Italy has. By the way, we have 40 people in the stream right now, so welcome everyone. Welcome to our third ever live stream. We are just taking a general look at what 1.3 is all about right now. And it does look pretty nice. Like, I feel like we're getting a lot of good stuff here. So if you have anything else that you want me to check out, if you have anything specific in your mind from the patch notes, definitely let me know. And we'll definitely check that one out. And once we're done checking everything out, we are probably going to do a very short test run. Probably as an Italian state, Florence does come to mind. So that's basically, you know what, I really think that performance has been suffering. Like, it was really nice after 1.2.5, I think, where they kind of streamlined the diplomacy calculations. But right now, the open beta is struggling just a little with performance. I'm having a significant FPS drop here, which is kind of bad, but you know, what can you get sometimes? Alright, let's take a look at what we have in Italy. So they added a lot of new advances to Italy. I'm not quite sure which ones here are new and which ones were already there in patch 1.2, but let's take a look. Teatro alla Scala. Interesting stuff here. Nothing particularly good. I can see that war score efficiency might be nice. The Fabbrica del Duomo, that's interesting. City rights cost, building construction efficiency. So that's basically a construction cost modifier. Is basically rural amount of RGO in a city. Well, yes. Image scaling. Yeah, I'll definitely take a look at that. So it doesn't look like we have a lot of unique stuff for Milan just yet. But let's see if they've added anything to, say, Padua. Oh my god. Holy crumbs. 0.0050 monthly development. Was this in the game before? Oh, it's hilarious also that it requires agriculture. As if you're not going to have agriculture as Padua. Yeah, that's just hilarious. But that development boost, oh my god, that is amazing. That is insane. What else do we have? 5%, 10% disease resistance. Very nice. I mean, god, wait, 10% max literacy? And then I believe there's another 5% max literacy here. So that's 15% max literacy. I mean, they basically made it super duper easy to just start as Padua and literacy max. 6 unique advances to every Italian culture. Yes. So is that Italian culture? Interesting. Partitio Terrar. Oh, this is the Francocratia reform, isn't it? Interesting stuff. More monthly legitimacy. More max literacy on H2. Venetian painting. Also, you know, these are really nice. Icons. I really like the icons here. Work of art sale value. Oh, this is actually kind of fun, you know. Like in theory at least, it should allow you to sell, to, you know, fund your artists and then sell a lot of stuff. They really didn't even consider one bit of balance when doing the open beta lol. I really think they did not, because 0.50 is just massive. So you get a bunch of artist bonuses, I guess, as Venice, which is fun. And all Italian cultures get this kind of stuff. Emilian, what do we have? Alpodoma. So this is balanced. This is like the regular small development boost, but oh my god, that one. That one is just Bologna also gets some stuff. Food production, export efficiency, not bad. More artist stuff, nothing particularly enticing here. And they're also adding a lot more monthly research progress bonuses. Oh yes, Smallpox Universalis, I saw that one. To be honest, I'm not sure whether it's a good idea to be playing this open beta right now. Plus 10% max literacy in the Age of Renaissance, that is a lot. And what else do we have? It's mostly the usual stuff, I guess. Nothing particularly enticing. I guess when you go like, get both the country bonuses and the culture bonuses and whatnot, that might make sense. So, wait a second. So if I'm reading this correctly, Unified Culture Group contains 1 million. If I'm not mistaken, this means that you can unify all Italian cultures and get all of their unique advances, but surely it doesn't work that way. Surely it doesn't work that way. Tax efficiency, court spending efficiency, good stuff here. Nothing particularly enticing about Florence either, but eventually you can become a peasant republic, and you have the Ciompi revolt, you have the rise of Savonarola, so you got a lot of unique disasters and stuff when you're playing as Florence. And of course the Tuscan culture also gets some interesting stuff. Loan capacity investment, interesting. I guess that's part of the newly added stuff with the creditworthiness and whatnot. What else do we have? Sieni School of Painting, additional 5%. I think this was just the regular stuff. I believe they also added a couple more advances to Sicily. So that's nice. Studium Generale, that's nice. Court of the Royal Patrimony, nothing particularly good here either. I really was expecting more stuff, like more OP advances, but so far it's only Padua that we were able to see. Oh, that's very nice. 10% max literacy in the 5th age, but you know, it's not bad. The game considers malaria to be endemic to Italy. If I'm not mistaken, malaria is endemic to Italy. Like, there are a lot of swamps, especially in this area, and you know, that was one of the big selling points of Mussolini, actually. He basically campaigned, so as to speak, on draining the swamps and on ending malaria and mosquitoes in Italy. But there are a lot of mosquitoes here, though, so I'm not sure if malaria is actually here. I know that malaria is much more widespread in the Mediterranean world than you would assume. It's not just like a Africa unique thing. There's also malaria in Anatolia, for example. Not quite sure if it was present in Italy, but I'm guessing it probably was. So that does not make a lot of immersion breaking for me, if you ask me. But anyways, a lot of stuff here. And unfortunately, I don't think the Kubadets have anything. Womp womp. They just have the nomadic legacy, which is fun. So anyways, I guess that is basically what we got for the new 1.3 open beta, folks. Now let me start a poll. I'm going to start a poll very quickly in the chat here. No. If I can only figure out how to first get to the actual stream. This is kind of funny. There we go. All right, so let me get a poll here. Ask a question. Wait, let me first ask this one. Who do you want us to play as? I'm guessing Florence, but the real stuff that we want to get as Florence is, kind of deep in the future, so maybe you guys want something else. They also added new stuff to Verona, I guess. Nothing specific for Italian, I believe. So do tell me which is specific. I don't know. Yeah, who do you want us to play as, basically? Who do you want us to play as? Do you want like Verona, Padua, Florence? I don't know, maybe Venice? Any one of these guys is okay by me. So do let me know in the chat, who do you want us to play as? Or if you want us to play as someone outside of Italy, that's also fine. But it looks like most of the stuff that we have here is about Italy. And also, the Guelphs and the Ghibellines situation is also about Italy, and it is present at the start of the game. Play Padua and get insane dev. I think that's going to be fun. Oh yes, I guess they also added more stuff for Montferrat. And it's kind of hilarious that you are literally part of the Palaiologos dynasty as Montferrat, which is kind of funny. Anything else here that is specific to Montferrat? Not that I can see. The Piedmontese get fort defense and production efficiency, bit of trade efficiency. They have a lot of fort bonuses, which I don't think are going to be very useful. And at the very end of the game, they get silk output. So, not particularly enticing, I would say. But they got so many different, advances here. I mean, they even added unique advances to Saluzzo. So that's a lot of stuff. They did not add anything to Pavia, which is kind of hilarious because the patch itself is going to be called the Pavia patch. Very interesting. The Navili. There we go. Another monthly development boost. Oh my god. This is not balanced. Why did they add such huge bonuses? Parma. Parma has +1 diplomatic capacity. I feel like that's going to be a lot more useful now compared to previous patches. Genoa, Piedmont, Montferrat, Padua is insane. Siena. Bulgaria has a new disaster. Yes, Bulgaria does have a new How can I check the new Italian culture when, like, what Italian culture are you talking about? Alright, I think we'll try to go for Padua. And you know what? I'm just not going to... Oh wait, the Scaliger War. Oh my god. Yeah, we do begin as part of the Scaliger War. And I think we are a vassal of Verona right at the start, so that's interesting. Oh yes, that too. They I think someone either on the forums, probably on the forums, basically showed some historical documents, some sources to Paradox, which essentially indicate that the borderlands down here in the Rhodope and what's this one? Philippopolis and wait, is this all Rhodope? Yeah, it's all Rhodope. So basically, someone said in the Paradox forums that this area was owned by the Byzantines. It's not added as like a full core or anything like that, but basically Paradox changed it and gave it to the Byzantines at the start of the game. And also there were some minor changes to Byzantium and stuff as usual. Oh yes. You know what? That's actually very interesting. As Gulploppen said, we can actually, let's see. Oh, we can also look here now. You have unique advances laid out right in front of your eyes. We can start as Padua, and because this requires you to be Padua, it's not culture specific. We can also convert to Lombard culture and get basically insane dev bonuses. So that's definitely going to be hilarious. That's a lot of levies for a relatively small state, I would say. But anyways, yep, Bulgarian nerf. but it's supposed to be historically accurate. Win community nerding. Well, I mean, it's EU5. It's a Paradox game, so obviously, the autists are going to be autistic, and they're going to add all of that random stuff to the game. Obviously, somebody is bound to bring out the sources when you are playing a grand strategy game. So, anyways, it is Padua, I guess, and let's see what we're going to get. Let's go for this one. Wow, that's interesting. What's the 0 out of 1 kind of thingy here? Is it like the number of advances that you have to research to get to that specific advance, maybe? I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's start with the monthly diplomats. And we will probably not need all that much institution growth, so I can pass that one. Maybe go for stability and religious influence just for now. Just for now. And then we'll figure everything out. And let's see, we can get a rival. Oh, that's very interesting. As a subject, you can only rival other nations' subjects, which is interesting. So what do we want to do here? Do we want to maybe fight out the Scaliger War and try to, I don't know, destroy Verona? Also, what does Verona get? Country bonuses. Perpetual General. Oh. They begin the game with... Oh, that's a lot of minus 15% antagonism received. Diadige, Spettacoli dell'Arena. Okay, so they don't really get a lot of stuff. Verona doesn't get a lot of stuff, but this single advance at the start of the game is just amazing. Massive stuff here. And we're also a Venetian culture, it seems. Yes, Tomcat, so do I. I'm not sure. Oh, also, I think they added a base, a state power or something like that to the Peasant Republic. So it's not quite, it's not viable per se, but it's different than before, let me say. And I guess we're going to play as Padua. So the first thing that we probably want to do is to peace out of the war, maybe, you know, try to figure something out about how to get rid of our vassal here, our overlord. So I think, wait, what? We literally had more levies just before. You know what I'm going to, but nah, that's just going to take too long. I'm just going to let this war play out. I don't think we're going to do anything specific here. Let's see, we only have one crown character. We do not have a shoreline, by the way, so that's kind of bad. So let me make this guy the head of cabinet, and let's see what exactly do we want to do with the cabinet here. Change societal values to innovative sounds nice. And with the other one, we could do, I don't know, sow disloyalty, we definitely want to do that. Strengthen government, I'm not quite convinced. Alright, so that should give us a decent chunk of disloyalty. But we also have a fairly decent subject opinion of Overlord. Military actions. Oh, you can lend unit to ally now, right. Let me send an insult. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries. Let's see. Yo, 1.3. Oh, Jedamsan. Hello, mate. Hello. Do you intend to do like a live stream yourself as well, or do you have other video ideas now that we have the open beta going on? Alright, what else do we have to do here? Pilgrimage. Oh, they changed the pilgrimage screen as well. That's very interesting. Now you can see a lot of stuff here, including how much religious influence you're going to get, how much it costs, how much it lasts. Also, Holy City of Jerusalem. Yes, so let's see. I think I'm going to raise levies and try to... But we would get this even without raising levies. And Venice has levies. They do not have regulars, so that's interesting. That's why you have the less levies, probably. Oh yeah, that's very interesting. Did our location get occupied? So we have the Borgo Franco rights for additional peasant enfranchisement. Minus 5% production efficiency probably means it's not worth it though. Let me reduce this stuff just a little. We have a lot of estate satisfaction equilibrium, it seems very interesting. And we do not have a lot of stuff. We do have the university, and Padua was a fairly old university, I think one of the first in Italy even. Interesting. You can issue government bonds once you have the banking advance. So what's the catch here? Like, what's the difference between a loan and a bond? Oh, right, because with a loan you have to technically pay it back. With a bond you can just keep rolling it as long as you pay the interest and you do not close the principal. Very interesting stuff here. I heard Inca... No, mate, Inca is not the best to test the new patch with. Let's see, what do we want to get here? Maybe diplomatic traditions, maybe a monthly religious influence, foreign buildings construction. I mean, we are a signoria. We are a dynastic signoria, which is one or more blockers. Wait, what? We cannot remove this because our nobility does not have 50% or more power? That makes no sense, but, you know, whatever, I guess. Anything new here? I don't think we have anything new as far as the privileges are concerned. The clergy, again, nothing new here. Papal emissary, I definitely want to grab that. It's been a while since I played as a Catholic country, actually. I'm not quite sure which ones are good here, which ones are bad. This one is probably nice to have for the additional clerics. They do create a lot of demand. Allows devout education, right. They finally added that to the tooltip, so that's very nice. Definitely can go for the additional stability investment here. And I guess our burgers already have some decent stuff here. But I'm still going to grant the monthly development to them as well, because more development is always nice to have, or almost always nice to have. Export efficiency, market fairs, can't go wrong with additional monthly prosperity. What else? Treasury rights too, maybe. I do not want to... I do not want our Republican tradition to fall too low, but you know, why not? Why the hell not? We do have common militias granted to the commoners. We do not have auxilium et concilium because we are not monarchy, I guess. Elite council, probably also nice. Local noble delegation buildings. That's interesting. So either one of these allows our nobility to build a lot of local buildings, which is interesting. Oh, this one we definitely want to get. And there we go. Osman Albayrak, thank you, mate. As a fan. More gameplay, sick of game is paused writing. What? What? Oh, right, of course. Of course. Alright, help me out here, folks. Which reforms do you want us to take? I think we'll go for trade office network because, you know, we are a merchant republic of sorts after all. It's Italy. And for the other one, probably not agricultural cultivation, but at the same time, agricultural cultivation because that prosperity bonus. You know what? I think we're going to try and prosperity max and development max in this, basically in this run, or whatever we are going to do here. It's probably not going to be a full run, so there is that. Let me grab these guys, for example. Education of the masses, nothing to do there. We do not want to go on a pilgrimage. That's nice. I think we have dealt with that. I think we have dealt with the cabinet. Let me give the head of cabinet to this guy. And then over here in our balance, jump up cost of the court. Maybe not diplomatic spending, I'm not quite sure. Maybe something like this makes sense. I think we're not going for stability here. And definitely keep the marketplaces around, but of course we're going to close the temple because, bruh, it's a temple. They really should add something to the temples to make them worth opening up again, because right now they're basically a meaningless building. Well, that's a lot of money that we'll be getting from the tannery. But let me see here. The Venice market. Leather, what do we have with the leather here? So it's probably like So the local supply mostly matches the local demand, which is not bad. For city guards and sergeantries, oh, we also probably want to get a city guard as well eventually. In fact, it's very cheap to build. You know what, I'm just going to grab that because why the hell not? And I guess that's going to be it. Oh, Osman Albayrak, thank you for joining the channel, mate. Thank you for the membership. And thank you for all of your suggestions. Honestly, it's called the war room. It's not called the economy room. So it's kind of obvious why we're going for the full, war vassalization conquest route. But yeah, I think we probably want to get a few more. I don't know. A few more economically focused series going on. Maybe they can still create demand. Yes. So let me do a save here in case we mess something up, because there's a decent chance that we did mess something up. Oh, let's say Padua init. Init, mate. Milan, are there any new formables? There is at least one new formable, Occitania, which does sound like a lot of fun. But we're not playing in that region right now, so we will not be able to showcase it, unfortunately. And again, basically, we'll try to get out of the Scaligere War. Trieste, huh? I didn't realize that that was the build toll room. Oh yes. Oh boy. Okay, so Verona does have a fairly significant army, so I guess they can defeat the Venetians with or without our support, and that's probably exactly what they're going to do now. I'm just going to go here, try to save our location from occupation. And this is all part of Padua province, so that's rather unfortunate. And I mean, just look at that. Look how much dev that we're getting even right now. Also, this is farmlands, I think, oh, subtropical. It's not Mediterranean, unfortunately. And after that, what do we want to do here? Do we want to keep fighting? Probably not. I'll try to, like, occupy this location, maybe. And also our loyalty is down quite significantly. So if I can figure out a way of maybe... does it matter if we send multiple insults? I don't think it does. And there we go, it does not. Defending us, Ghibellines. When does the Guelph versus Ghibelline situation begin, by the way? Because technically we are part of the Ghibellines. But the situation has not begun. That's interesting. Alright. Also, how exactly does this thing here work, like with the... Anyways, I guess we're going to get stack wiped again. I should... Oh, that's interesting. If Padua is occupied before 1339-11... Right, so... If we figure out a way of getting our capital occupied, we will change sides in the war. But I'm fairly sure that the AI will simply ignore us. So that's probably not going to happen. Ah, there we go, there we go. The situation has begun. We got this guy. Was it on this guy? This guy, I think. Oh, wait. Oh, we got not just one, but two fiscal hawks. That's going to be a lot of additional income from minting. And let's see what else we got. So they changed the Guelphs versus Ghibellines UI. It now shows whoever is part of which faction much more clearly. Did you already check the new bureaucracies? Oh, that makes a lot of sense. So we should probably get... we should probably check out the new bureaucracies at some point as well. So we're parts of the Guelphs, I believe. Let's see, is that the case? No, we're part of the Ghibellines. That's interesting. Huh. So it's Naples, the Pope, and all of these guys as a part of the Guelphs. And most of the North Italian states are part of the Ghibellines. And also, they kind of changed it, so now you have a leader, you have the Ghibelline leader in the Italy region. I believe previously it used to be the HRE Emperor leading the Ghibellines personally, whereas now it's going to be Genoa at the start of the game, if I'm not mistaken. So that's interesting. And I guess we're just going to, hang out for a while. Maybe try and figure out if there's anything that we can do to make sure that Padua gets occupied. And I don't like the way that these guys are coming at us, so maybe retreat from the... boy. There we go. Yeah, let's see. There's still like a tiny bit of chance that they ignore us. Nope, they're not going to ignore us. So that's going to be a order full retreat button here. And geez, we retreat all the way to Parma. That is bad. And you also get to change sides pretty often. Oh, thank you, mate. Oh, wow. That is, let me check, $5 or something like that. Thanks for the super chat. 2 great days. Continue with the content, please. Is my dopamine economy is your dopamine source? Yeah. Well, I'm not getting you wrong. Don't worry about that. I'm glad that you enjoyed the content. I've been trying to, do some more economic runs. I guess the final episode of the Serbia series would be to your liking because we just built tall and did nothing else in that one. So I'm considering doing more economic focused runs, but it doesn't really feel like it would be a lot of fun. And there we go. We managed to get into a fight with the Venetians somehow. Let's see. Okay, so their center gave away. Yeah, it looks like we'll win it, but honestly, this was basically not necessary. And we lost a lot of mana. We did not need to do that. You know what? I think I'm just going to get our guys to attach. How can we attach? How can we attach here? It says join with unit, but I'm not sure if we managed to attach. Have you faced the smallpox? I have not yet faced the smallpox in this patch, and let me tell you something, I am afraid of it. I am truly, truly afraid of it. Let's see, what else do we have here? Here is Fatih. Have arrived. Welcome to the war room, I guess. And geez, why are you guys not occupying Padua? You had one job, Venice. You just had to occupy our capital, and we would change sides. Oh, this is the brain dead AI in this game. I guess we're going to disband our levies and just try to figure... Oh, there we go. We are a disloyal vassal now. That is lovely. So how can I form an independence faction? I think it would be over here. Start a new independence movement targeting Verona. There we go. And then can we figure out a way of inviting people to the movement? Let's see. Alright, I think we need to wait. There we go. That's an additional 0.30 diplomats. Okay, so nobody is going to bite just yet. Oh, people are very trusting of Verona, interestingly enough. Alright, I'm not quite sure what exactly we can do here. The independence movement has been founded, but it doesn't look like anybody is willing to join. So, I wish there was like a... Let's see, can I sort by willingness? So this should show us whoever is the most willing and whoever is the least willing. Aquileia and Genoa are... but look at that. Why do you guys trust Verona so much? I mean, they have conquered a lot of land. You shouldn't be trusting them like that. I think I'm just going to try and improve relations with Parma for now. And, let's stick to speed 7 for a while. We do have the Independence CB. Didn't search about it at all. I mean, the patch isn't about anything specific. It's more like a general improvements. But the focus is partially about Italy. Okay, so it's been a few months and leather is still extremely pricey. So I think I'm going to build that one. And it's very interesting because in the patch notes, they specified that the urban manufacturers would receive less profits in the current patch. So they tried to cut down on the urban manufacturers, but we're still getting a lot of money here. And oh my god, that is a lot of lag. Yeah, that's way too much lag, I think. Yes, I really think that the new trust mechanic also bricked the independence movements. I'm not quite sure how exactly it has changed. I think the AI counts trust for too much when deciding whether to join an independence movement. They did not add trust. Trust was already in the game. We're talking about patch 1.2 and how patch 1.2 changed the independence movement acceptance rate, let's say, by making trust a factor and also making trust much more important. But I guess we're just going to build toll for a few years, but Jesus, look at that. There we go. New outbreak of influenza. Okay, thankfully it's not smallpox. Oh my god. Look at that. It really is Smallpox Universalis. Oh my god. This thing has been going on for 3 months, 4 months? And already it's killed nearly 9 million people in China and 3 million people in Delhi, nearly a million in Japan, half a million in Egypt. Jeez, those numbers, look at those numbers. It's killing 1 million people each month, and oh my god, it's going to kill us as well, isn't it? Oh, this is so bad. This is so bad. They had no idea what they were doing with the. Oh my god. This is insane. Oh, they didn't adjust the values for trust, so they considered. Not much happened. We just checked out the new content in patch 1.3, and we didn't do anything else basically. Who's that? Republic of Brescia. Okay, these guys didn't exist at the start of the game. They got released somehow. Maybe from Verona, I'm not quite sure. But they did get released. And that's all part of the HRE. Yeah, you know what? I think we're just going to keep building toll for maybe a few years. Yeah, disease resistance was probably the new meta as of patch 1.2, but they really did manage to break something. I'm not quite sure what it was with the new patch as well. So Parma is also part of the independence movement now. Let's see, can we invite anyone else in? Trent could be nice, as would Aquila. You know what, I think we're going to, let's see, Trent has, so Aquila is probably the way to go here, because Trent doesn't really have a lot of soldiers. Verona has a lot of regulars, so in order to break free from them, we would probably need to hire a bunch of mercenaries. New World is the meta now so that you can avoid diseases. Yes, and you can avoid diseases. At the same time, you're going to get even more deaths from smallpox when it does eventually hit you, I guess. I just look at that, 40 million dead. This thing has killed more people than the Black Plague, and we're just 2 years into the game. Oh my god. This is just absurd. And oh, look at that lag. Yeah, the game is just frozen. Is this a CTD? I feel like we're going to get a CTD here. Like a crash to desktop. Because my game is literally frozen right now. There we go. It's back. But and our quality settings are on low. And I actually do have like a decent rig that I'm playing this in. Like I have a, does it show here? It probably doesn't, but we're playing this on like an RTX 5060 or something like that. So this isn't like a potato that I'm playing in. Someone mentioned GUI texture streaming. Interesting. Is this the new thingy that they added? I'm not quite sure. whatever. Let's try turning it off. I don't think that's going to make a difference, but you know, let's just try it out. Yes, I think that's the issue here. Smallpox doesn't leave the provinces. Maybe support the state, I'm not quite sure. Well, there really doesn't seem to be much going on here, so I guess we'll just go for that. Change court language. Oh, that's very interesting. So now the clergy actually asks you to change your court language to Latin, which is very interesting. And also it does give a lot of parliament support, so you know what, I think we'll actually go for that. Support communal values, of course we're going to support that. Let's see if we can change any of the laws. Foundation of the Republic, do we want to keep a republicanism? Or do we want to go for maybe virtues of politeia? Or maybe religious virtue even? These are also fairly nice. But I think the first change that we want to do here is to change away from traditional distribution, which is literally the worst, to probably favoring the wealthy for the additional max tax on the burgers. We're getting a decent bit of tax on the burgers, and they also have very high satisfaction equilibrium. Oh, and also we get this. So why not go for that? It's very cheap anyways. I think we're going to change our laws here. Go for favor the wealthy, because we are a sort of a republic after all, so why not? And demand monastery, more communalism push, which is nice. The nobility are going to get a pity, but they'll recover. They'll recover. This guy is doing anything to avoid posting on schedule. I mean, we are technically posting on schedule here, my friend. This is like the usual time for the video post. And instead of a video today, because the open beta just released, I just decided to do a live stream. So let's go for that one, why not? Smallpox never stopped. I think Paradox mistook diseases for malware as well. So that's interesting. Diplomatic spending, for some reason, doesn't nearly cost as much. I mean, I'd expect it to cost more, but I guess that's alright. We don't really need a lot of diplomatic spending here. We just need enough to be able to improve opinion with maybe a couple of people so we can invite them to the independence movement. And I guess we'll just wait until the Truce of Milan with Verona is over, and at that point we will jump ship and we will try to win our independence from Verona. Banned books. Oh god, that's research progress. I gotta go for that. Sure, why not? And in the meantime, we'll just build up our city, I guess, because what else do we have to do? Republican Assembly, Maybe I'd like to get some, let's say, gold in the Venetia market. Alright, I'm going to, let's see, first reduce the trade automation, and then go for gold, and we're going to import as much gold as we can. And then after the stockpiles have built up, we're going to build a Republican Assembly. Oh, of course, that's assuming the stockpiles actually build up, which is probably not the case here, because I feel like everybody is just consuming the gold at the moment we import it. So that is kind of bad. Any chance of it? No, I guess not. So I think I'll just cancel this. You know, let the game trade for its own, and we'll build the assembly later. In the meantime, I'm going to continue building the tanneries. Again, I have no idea why these are so profitable here. I guess it's probably got to do with livestock being very cheap, and there is still a decent bit of demand for leather. So we might as well go for this one, get the nobility satisfaction back up. Also, the Holy Roman Empire. So technically this area is not part of the HRE. Ferrara, Bologna, all of these small statelets in Emilia and Romagna are not part of the HRE. That's interesting. Maya religion has plus 30% disease resistance. What? I definitely did not consider that. Oh, also they changed the Aptekaski, whatever it was that the Russians have access to, which gives you disease resistance. They changed that one to being like a province wide action, so it doesn't actually give you disease resistance in your entire country anymore. Let's go for this one. And I believe they also added additional like modifiers for local production stuff, for local production efficiency, but I'm not sure where we can find those. Is there like any way of seeing that? Because I'm not really seeing anything like that right now. Let's see if we hover over this. So they said in the patch notes that they would add additional local production efficiency bonuses to certain urban goods, such as glass or whatever this is called, like fine cloth, that kind of stuff. But I don't see any of those right now. The Flemish cloth industry, that's just the usual urban rights though, so nothing new there. Let's see how bad the diseases are. Let's see, for example, smallpox. Oh, would you look at that? 40 million. 40 million dead. We got a new typhus outbreak. Isn't that lovely? So we already lost 20,000 people to disease out of a starting population of 140 million or 160,000. That is just ludicrous. That is absolute madness. Let's see. I don't think we're going to get a lot of medicaments here. We really don't have. Oh, so I guess that's why the leather production here is so nice, because we get plus. Wait, what? Oh, that's the glass guild, of course. The tannery. We are getting plus 6.15%. That's interesting. So the production efficiency bonuses, previously these used to be like a flat 10%. Right now they seem to start small and just, compound over time. And I'm not quite sure what exactly the compounding rate is or how exactly it works. You know what? I'm just going to say auto expand here and auto expand this one as well, maybe. But right now, other than the Tannery and the Spinners Guild, none of these buildings are really all that useful for us. Yeah, let's go admin focus here. Well, yes, smallpox was very deadly, but I think the issue is this. The Malthusian cycle was a cycle, as the name suggests. So basically, there was an equilibrium point where the population would grow and grow and grow, and then either a disease would hit, or you would just run out of resources, basically, and then you would get population collapsed. And then, because you have more land, because you have more food available to you, the population would bounce back. But right now, that's not how it works in EU5. The population collapses, and then the population does not go back up for whatever reason. So the ideal thing to do here would probably be this. The diseases would still be very much deadly, but after a disease is over, for the next 20 years, for the next 50 years, something like that, you would get additional population growth. So it's a cyclical growth. You would still get additional population growth. The diseases would still be deadly, but it would be more historically accurate. But that's not how how Paradox coded it, apparently. It's just the disease kills you, and then your population does not bounce back. Huh. Geez. Verona has decided to annex us, which is bad. So now we have 15 years before we are basically dead. But aren't we disloyal? Like, how are they supposed to... you know what? Whatever. I'm going to do frustrate annexation here. And hopefully, in a few more years, we will be able to receive support from Milan. And that should allow us to destroy Verona. Wait, what? Oh, you have to... Okay, so I'll, let's sow disloyalty with this guy and frustrate annexation with the other guy. Oh, cabinet dynamism, lovely. Also, probably my probably the thing that I like the most about the open beta is they changed it so now that when you get an event or something like that, the modifiers actually show. You do not have to hover over them, you do not have to deal with the nested tooltips. And why can't I form a new independence movement? We are a disloyal subject. Wait, what? Why are we not a disloyal subject? Honestly makes no sense. Well, at least we're going to get the Renaissance very soon. Oh geez, banking as well. And professional armies. Where did you guys all spawn? So, Lucca, Zena, and I guess Venezia. Or maybe not, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I guess it's Lucca, Zena, and Venezia. So we're going to start getting the first one here. I hope that's, I think that's professional armies. And it's going to be a while, but we'll still get the other two. Now let's see if we are getting a decent amount of progress towards the Renaissance because we could have spawned the institution ourselves. Of course, being in Northern Italy has its benefits. So we'll be able to embrace the Renaissance very soon, and that's very nice because Renaissance is the big institution. You get most of the good stuff here in the game from the Renaissance tree, such as the additional government reform, the additional cabinet seat, all of those goodies. You can only have one disease in a single location. That's interesting to know. Let's see. Is there any chance that we can break free? Because for some reason, it appears that we are not getting there. Economy action. Can I like... Nope, we can't do anything. I'll send another insult. There we go. There we go. We just had to send an insult. And that solved basically everything. So now they can't actually annex us. And more importantly, we should be able to get... Let me increase diplomatic spending here. More importantly, we should be able to get the independence movement going again very soon. There we go. With the next monthly tick, we are going to get... Typhus Outbreak is great only in Paradox games. Yep. I mean, it's Paradox. Like, at least it's not CK3 or Stellaris, where we would be talking about cannibalism being nerfed, or I don't know, incestuous relationships with your niece or something like that. And yes, I said niece because, you know, we don't actually want to promote incestuous relationships here. Unlike CK2 or CK3 or, you know, CK whatever. Let me invite Parma back into the movement, and we can go back to changing our societal values towards innovative. So essentially it's a waiting game. We just have to wait until the truce here is over, and then it should be easy to take out Milan. In the meantime, do I create regulars? That could be something at least. Now let me reduce our diplomatic spending maybe just a little until we get like 0.10 sounds nice. Or maybe let me get it until we have like 2 diplomats stored. Which happens, I believe, at something like this. Nope, we need to spend a bit more. There we go. So that's that will allow us to store 2 diplomats instead. Selling of indulgences. Why not? Why not? And we can already canonize. Can we get anything else in the papal bulls? Let's see. What did these guys do? Estate satisfaction, tolerance of hidden beliefs, clergy estate satisfaction, antagonism received, that could be useful. Institution growth, that could be useful. I think what we're going to do is we're just, you know, save it up and try to request... we have to be a duchy at least. And to be a duchy, we need to have... Right, we actually have to ask the Holy Roman Emperor for duchy rights. And is that... Do we find that over here in this tab? I'm not quite sure. How do I even ask to become a duchy in the HRE? Again, I have never played around with the HRE mechanics. These are so bad. These are so weird. Whatever, I guess. If they added a promote population growth cabinet action, yeah, that could be. They nerfed a bit the professional versus levy damage in the beta. Did they do that in the beta? Because if that's the case, that's going to be really interesting. Also, I guess the tanneries have stopped being so valuable for us. So let me cancel that one. Yeah, it really does look like urban production buildings have been nerfed quite significantly. And I guess this is part of the reason why the AI just keeps, the AI just keeps all of their money, because they literally have nothing to do. I mean, what are you going to do when all of your urban production buildings are already suffering tremendously? They're not very productive. We probably want to take away the Borgo Franco rights here, because minus 5% production efficiency. Who on earth wants that? Instead, Freetown Charter actually sounds nice. For the additional monthly prosperity, and again, we are development maxing here, so we want as much prosperity as possible. Average satisfaction. We probably want to increase our average satisfaction a bit as well. Maybe studium privileges, but probably not worth it. Probably not worth it. Fortress Town. Alright, so we have another parliament. Let's hold it here. Royal Road Commission. That's interesting. Promote farming innovation. This was... Wait. Didn't this used to give additional prosperity? I think it doesn't give additional prosperity anymore, which is rather unfortunate. Establish pilgrimage routes. Oh, this one gives prosperity, so we'll definitely go for that. Let's see. Support of spiritual ideas. I'll go for that. More innovative push. Yes, please. More humanist push. Can't really go wrong with that. And I'll just wait for an event. Let's see if we get a decent event here. So the Emperor changed actually, Demcat. The Emperor is Austria, but I'm not sure how exactly we can ask the Emperor, because I don't see the option here. And I don't see the option in the HRE tree either. Let's see, can we, let me search for Duchy. Nope, it doesn't work. Can I search for like Duke, Ducal? Nope, doesn't work. Duchy rights is a diplomatic interaction, but how do you do the diplomatic interaction here? Or maybe we can't request it because we are a vassal, so that could also be it. Also, let's see, anyone else we can invite to... There we go, so this is what we want. Let me maybe ask for larger levies. That could work. Oh, but we're probably not going to be able to declare war within the next 3 years. Or maybe we can. Yes, we probably can declare war within the next 3 years, actually. There we go, more prestige. You can never go wrong with more prestige, actually. And let me send these guys another insult. Let's keep those insults coming, so we can actually get something going with the independence movement. And that's going to be an additional 20% monthly prosperity for us, which is very nice. Development growth is still very slow. Let's see, I think we're getting like 1 additional development per year, or per 10 years maybe? Yeah, that sounds more like it. So we're getting 0. 0.13, 0.12, something like that each year. So that's 1.3 or so every decade. And at that rate, it would take us 700 years to reach 100 development. Yay! That's without considering any other effects that we have here, though. And we're probably going to get more development boosts over time, but it's not enough. Like, even though it sounds like a very high bonus, it still doesn't let you get to high development levels very quickly. Oh, and we can also, there we go. Let me embrace the Renaissance immediately. It does cost us a bit of stability, but, you know, ideally you want to be in negative stability territory anyways. And I'm going to arrange for, let's see, let's go for the rights of the nobility first, so we can get additional stuff there. Oh, the University of Padua is very cheap though, and also gives us additional research progress, so we'll go for that. And we'll definitely go for this one. Oh, you get so many good advances here, and all of them are tied to the Renaissance tree, which is easy to get through when you're in northern Italy. Let's see, which one, what sort of stuff did this one get? Burgers levy size. This also gives levy combat efficiency, so I'll go for that next. And that should cover us for the next few years. Also, education of the elites, court spending efficiency. Again, most of the good stuff is gated behind the Renaissance. If hypothetically I weren't from Redacted, where would I be from? I'm not sure. Like, are you asking where I would like to be from, or where I would be closest to in terms of my origins? Oh, the Black Death. The Black Death is coming. And oh, look at that. The Serbian Empire has actually, okay, it's not actually managed to form. They have not conquered all of the lands that they need to become an empire, but they did still get a lot of lands, so that's very nice for the Serbs. Kudos. Please do not commit any war crimes. And yes, performance is noticeably worse. Like, noticeably worse. I mean, this feels more like speed 5 rather than speed 7 right now. However I interpret it, in that case, if hypothetically I weren't from Redacted, I would be from Iceland. It's a nice country, they have like huge volcanoes and stuff. Cultural influence, nothing particularly good here, I guess. Can we... Okay, why can't we invite them? So we can't invite anyone, even though we ourselves remain in the independence movement. Oh, there we go. We finally have below 50, and that means we can invite Milan to the independence movement. So now, if I were to declare war using independence, that would call in Milan and Parma. The only question is, would we actually be able to win this war? And I'm not quite sure about that, so maybe wait a bit longer until we have some regulars of our own. But those would be pretty costly to maintain, wouldn't they? Let's see, how much would it cost us to... mercenaries are... Okay, so they made mercenaries much more expansive compared to patch 1.2. So I guess they're no longer the meta. They tried to bring them out of the meta in patch 1.2, but they're still like... They were still fairly strong, fairly efficient in terms of their price ratio. So it didn't really work. Building maintenance. Maybe we should close some buildings. Alright, you know what? I think I'm going to bite the bullet here. I think I'm going to close down the university so we get a bit more money. And let's see, how long do we get the additional levies for? How long do we get the additional levies for? We get them until January 1348. So we have 1 year exactly to declare war. Let's see. Do we trust Milan here, folks? Do we trust Milan? We would have like double the amount of soldiers that Verona has. But I'm still not sure. They could just stack wipe us on day one. I'm really not sure. We could get additional emergency levies. Hopefully not from the patricians, because obviously they do not like us very much. I guess what I'm going to do here is I'm going to ask for emergency levies from the clergy. Oh, also, that's an interesting approach. You can just let your legitimacy go down, and assuming that your clergy are satisfied, you can just use this every few years to get it back up. So yeah, they'll probably nerf that one. They'll probably nerf that one. And they're most certainly going to nerf this one because plus 20 stability, that is massive. And then I guess we're actually going to do this, folks. I guess we are actually going to declare an independence war on our overlord Verona, and fingers crossed that Milan manages to save us. And I'm not quite sure whether I want to raise our levies immediately. Yeah, I'll just raise them. And then I'll try to escape through the southern route. Or maybe, assuming that these guys have low morale, wait, where the hell are you going? Why are you going to, like, Venetian territory here? Oh, that's really interesting. We can't actually move through these areas because they're not part of the HRE. I forgot that Bologna and Ferrara are not part of the HRE. And we're probably going to get stack wiped here. Or maybe not. The Veronese armies do seem to be mostly concentrated in the west. Alright, so we don't need to sow disloyalty anymore, obviously. I'm going to put this guy to developing the province. How much did the smallpox kill? Let me check. So 44 million. 44 million dead from the smallpox. And yes, there we go. As expected, they jumped on us and yep, we got stack wiped. Yeah, that was coming. I should have seen that one coming. So now we're going to depend entirely on Milan to save us, essentially. And of course, the brain dead AI is not very forthcoming with saving us. I should have just escaped through the southern route. But why aren't you guys attacking? Oh, there we go. Ferrara. Ferrara has decided to ally us, so now we can get them. And they should hopefully, help us out in this war. Interesting. More people joining the HRE. Alright. So if we take all of this land, where does that leave us exactly? Let me see what the coalition is like here. Oh, that would be nice. Gorizia, Sicily. Let it load. Let it load the Italian states, and there we go. Yeah, that's a fairly sizable coalition, I would say. Maybe if we do not take Brescia. Let me check again, but let me put this guy on diplomatic endeavors and max out diplomatic spending. And then what do we get for our antagonism? Also, the antagonism window was basically always like this. I mean, it always lagged like hell whenever I tried to open it. Kinda bad, but, acceptable, I guess. Mantua, Verona, Pavia, Trent, Aquileia. Yeah, that's still a fairly sizable coalition. So we'll probably let them keep Brescia for now and just take these locations. And then we'll try to come back in a few more years and then deal with them later. But of course, first, they have to agree to, And there we go. The Black Death has officially spread. Do I want to move the court into hiding? Can we afford to lose this guy? I mean, we are a republic, so I don't think there's going to be a shortage of new characters. I guess we could expel the sick. for the additional communalism push, which is always useful to have. And that's going to allow us to get a very high amounts of communalism. I'll even go ahead and maybe grant like 1 or 2 communalism privileges here. 0.20 is very nice. And we can even grant another one to the commoners if I wanted to. Let's see, is this? No, that's pre-subjects. All right, I'll grant them this one. And that should push us significantly towards communalism. Yes, why exactly is chat so quiet? I've been wondering that one too, myself. So we could theoretically piece them out like this. And I guess that means we get granted independence. War reps. We can't get war reps. But we would get a lot of money, so there's that. Let me return that one too. I guess it would improve our relations with Aquilia. And let's hope that the Emperor does not bonk us on the head for taking land, for being a bad boy, and taking land which is not rightfully ours within the Holy Roman Empire. There we go. So we can get another rival now, and I mean, I would have liked for it to be Verona, but I guess not. Let me reduce diplomatic spending a bit more. Let me get another rival here, Bologna, Mantua. Who is the weakest here? These guys. I mean, they all seem to be allied with Ferrara for some reason. I guess we could go for Venice, but the Venetians are allied with the Pope, so that is kind of bad. I really don't know. You know what? I think I'm just going to ally Venice and call it a day. And we're probably going to suffer a lot. Venice is probably going to like fully annex us at the end of this episode. Or at the end of this live stream. But you know, it's worth it. It should be worth it, I guess. And let's see, do I want to maybe get a spy network so we can get a CB on them? We have more diplomatic capacity, by the way, that we can use. Parmesan-Paduan Union. That's interesting. But why is Parma the senior partner here? Let me go for regulated export just for now. If you could choose what the next DLC after the Italy one would be, what would you choose? You know what? I think I literally would choose what Flavio Games said and go for American natives, because the entire continent is just dead right now. There's literally nothing to do. Nothing to do. And playing as an American native was one of my favorite parts of playing EU4, so, you know, that's kind of unfortunate. More peasant levy sizes, almost always a good thing. We are in Disease Universalis arc. Yes, it is. Yes, faster Universalis. You know what? I think that's another nice thing, that we will now be able to earn achievements with mods. I'm not quite convinced about it, to be honest. Like, on one hand, it is fun. It means that I will finally be able to get achievements, because my style of playing is just not very compatible with Iron Man. And also Iron Man just makes things very, very slow in general. From experience, maybe they change it. Also, oh, look at that. England does actually have a way of flipping the French vassals here. And as you can see, they've flipped even Burgundy and Evreux to their side. So that's going to be nice when we end up playing as them. And I still can't figure out, oh, there we go, we can ask for ducal rights. But for that, I guess we need to improve their opinion first. And let me improve diplomatic spending a little here. Also, CH Dragoon, hello, mate. You are not very present in the channel, despite being a wargamer, so definitely thank you for the contribution, for the monthly contribution, no less. And I would like to see you more often if you know, if that's okay for you, if that's okay with you, of course. 1.3 patch now, 1.3 tier. Plague unrest. What on earth is this? Blame the of course we are going to blame the Veronese people. That they're the source of everything that is bad in the glorious Republic of Padua. Also, there's supposedly diplomacy automation now, which I'm not quite sure how well it works, but I guess it works. And we're also getting really good amounts of proximity here. So that should be nice. We should be getting an okay amount of money from Vicenza eventually, if not immediately. Oops. We lost a cabinet member, so unfortunate. Let me grab this guy. Oh, this is just chill, you know. This is probably the chillest game that I've played in a good long while, and it feels like medicine. Just coming out of that whole let's conquer all of China in 30 years arc as the Golden Horde. Well, we can also grab the Republican Assembly now, which is nice to have. Anything else? Maybe we want to get a hospital, but it costs so much. And the economy is just so tight. Like, so tight. I guess, oh, there we go. We have another university and another city guard. So we're technically maintaining both of these, but honestly, we probably don't need to just yet. So I'll close down those. Force into faction, attack threatening rival. I think we'll go for this one. And you know, there's just not much to do. Oh, Gustav, thank you for the upgrade in your tier, mate. It's always nice to see that people enjoy the content so much that they're willing to pay money for it, which is really nice to see. I mean, it really feels like I'm actually doing something. I'm doing something that people like, that people have fun watching, and maybe even learn a thing or five from watching. So thank you for the monetary contribution, and hopefully you keep it up for the coming months as well. It's said that your IQ increases by 120% from playing EU5. From how much of it is technical issues and stopping the game from crashing? That is, you know, I have literally learned how to script, like as in computer programming scripting, from trying to mod EU4 back in the day. Of course, I promptly forgot about it later on, but it's like, it was still something. And the reason why I started modding EU4 was because I got frustrated by something in the game. I don't remember what it's been. Wow, it's literally been like 10 years now. Ooh, that's interesting. A voice from the new territories. Is this like something you get for playing in Italy? Or is this like something? If I upgrade my membership, will I no longer be the third person listed? Kind of vain, but I suppose that I care. What do you mean by the third person listed? Like the third person at the end of the video, because I think I start with you? Because you are the first member, I believe? I'm not quite sure. Oh, what's this one? Oh, right, it's the classic public stuff. And can we please finally get ducal right? We still can't get ducal rights. Why can't we get ducal rights from these guys? I mean, the option was there. It was literally there. Don't like, love the videos. Thanks, mate. That is always nice to hear. Yeah, you always say me third. Really? Hold on, I'm going to actually check that. 1 second, folks. We have to check. Oh, right, Dark vs Real. Yeah, I forget about you, mate. Right. So, basically, the way that I list people at the end of each episode is I start from the oldest members to the newest members. And then at the end of it all, I list the wargamers because, they have the higher tier. So you wouldn't be listed third, but instead you would be listed right at the end, I believe. Or maybe somewhere near the end, basically. Oh, there we go. All right, what else are we do? If you aren't first, you're last. Yeah, again, the order I say them as literally the oldest to the newest for most of the members. So I guess that would be it. I keep forgetting about the order though, and there aren't a lot of cancellations, interestingly enough, but there were still a couple, so that throws me off sometimes. I think VVS Vinicio forgot to renew, so I didn't mention him today, so sorry for that. But then he renewed during the stream, so kudos to you, mate, for actually joining up again. And let's see what else we can get. Do we want another rival here? Maybe someone like weak and far away? Or maybe someone that is just a little threatening. Ooh, Mantua is very threatening against us. They're allied with Tyrol, but Tyrol is not going to be much of an issue. And Ferrara is our own ally as well, so we can probably make Mantua our rival. And be... Alright, wait, what? We automatically got upgraded to a duchy? How exactly does that work? Did the Emperor just give us? Oh, you like being third? I mean, if you specifically want me to mention you third, you can upgrade it here and I will keep mentioning you third. That's quite alright. Whatever floats your boat, mate. And again, folks, if you want something specific or don't want something specific, especially for my members, you can just let me know on Discord or comment under like a video or in a live stream, and I'll try to accommodate you. Basically, I don't really have a lot of very boundaries, let's say, or red lines, let's say, about what to do and what not to do. I'm kind of open to suggestions, let's say. And geez, the economy is much tighter right now. Oh, the Republican Assembly is costing us so much. Let me close that one down, actually. So we built it, but it's not going to be very useful for us. And the urban manufactories are just nuts. We are basically getting nothing out of them. The RGOs do not really produce any decent amount of wealth. I guess we could build wheat, but because of all the disease, especially the Black Death, oh, we forgot to do the additional stab thingy. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But in general, the economy just feels so much tighter in this version of the game. Really tighter. You like being third. Alright. I don't remember asking for ducal rights though. Like, I think I was checking it out and it said I needed better relations with the Emperor. So I guess he just granted them to me without me asking for them, which I guess is nice. Also, we are doing pretty okay with the integrations here, I guess. There we go. We got one additional development, folks. One more development since the start of the game. It's been 14 years. And we're just getting the additional development right now. Let me increase province control because otherwise this is just ticking up so slowly. I mean, it's going to tick up very slowly even with the cabinet action, but I guess that's to be expected. Yeah, why not? And geez, this is just so chill, man. I should definitely play Toll in Italy more often. Possible diplomatic actions. What could you possibly have to offer us? An alliance. An alliance with Aquilia, maybe. maybe even Naples if I manage to improve relations with them enough. We'll see. For that upgraded membership, you will get your Denmark run. Well, Denmark was also on the list. So basically, you guys also the Lithuania with you, right? That was basically just me, doing something little in between the Serbia and the Golden Horde series. And thank the gods that they changed that one. So now it automatically finishes when you get to that stuff. But anyways, with the Lithuania run, it was basically a choice between Lithuania and Denmark. And I went for Lithuania, which means Denmark is definitely going to be our next one off. Although, to be fair, people enjoyed that one so much that it's probably not going to be a one off. Instead, we're probably going to do another episode at the very least. So, Denmark is definitely on the books. It's going to come, let's say, sometime within this month. I don't want to be overly ambitious, but it's going to come sometime within this month. Also, interesting. Oh, that was Aquilia. They're both the Eagle, Aquilia, and Ferrara, and they have very similar flags. So I kind of forgot which one was which, basically. Is it even possible to offer to become their? And this is them becoming ours. I'm curious whether you can actually stack diplomatic reputation enough that it actually allows you to diplovassalize people. Yes, I was thinking about that too. Like after the research maxing thingy, I've thought for a good while about how do you say it? About doing a development max run as well. And we'll eventually get around to it. I guess it will involve starting as Padua and then just stacking everything that you can. And eventually we'll probably convert to Sanjiao or Eastern Buddhist or something like that, just so we can get additional development. And it should definitely come at some point. Also, another thing that is really nice about the beta, they finally changed curtail the nobility. So it no longer blocks the nobility from your government. And I'm not sure if this is a good thing. Because previously, there was actually a choice here. Like previously, curtailing the nobility came with a fairly big downside in that you cannot actually have any nobility in your cabinet. And since nobility is going to be most of your characters, you would lose out on a lot of characters in your cabinet. Now the choice is basically gone. Now you're just going to say curtail the nobility literally every single time because that is 10% additional maximum tax and minus 66% from the cabinet positions. So that's just nuts. That is like a no-brainer at this point. There we go. I'm going to get that one as well. Yep, Confucian as Paduan. I mean, if you're like literally development maxing, that would be the way to go for all of the additional development bonuses that you get. I'm not sure, maybe some other religion has better development bonuses. I haven't checked out Hellenism all that much. I don't remember if they have anything good. They do have some really nice pop growth and prosperity bonuses. And you can basically keep a lot of omens going on at the same time by using the pilgrimage action, or rather, abusing the pilgrimage action. But, yeah, I guess this guy sounds nice. But I feel like if you're really trying to development max, Confucianism is the way to go. Also, why are these guys all dying so quickly? That makes no sense, mate. Alberto della Scala. Order of St. George. Oh, is this new? I don't remember the military order being shown here. Gallo-Italic, we lose language of pleading. I'm not quite sure what we want to do here. I think we'll go for this one. Additional stability is usually good to have. Tengrism has the best development maxing, obviously. Oh yes, Tengrism. Or something like that. And yes, that was literally me throat singing in the middle of an Italy run. I guess I haven't been able to get out of the after effects of converting to Orthodoxy for the Golden Horde campaign. And then we still, and then the beta patch just invalidated the entire strategy because, of course, now you can just go here. And, and then you can just get plus 15 Republican tradition. Nice Humei, bro. Thanks, mate. Was that the Humei? I'm not quite sure which styles are which, basically. I can do a decent Kargara, but I'm not sure about the other styles exactly. Let's go for this one. Found the Monastery Network, Expand Growler Road Network. I'm not sure. Which one do we go for here? Which one do you want to get, chat? Monopolize land trade nows. 10% monthly control actually sounds nice. I'm not sure about the monasteries. We might have to close them up eventually, but whatever, I guess. Whatever. Oh, there was conduct a census. I should have conducted the census. Oh, jeez. And I'm very cavalier with the parliament agendas here, because we are in northern Italy, so we're just going to get them immediately anyways. And we already got the Renaissance, which is the big institution of this thingy. And yeah. Bro played too much horse. War Room is Mongol confirmed. Oh yes, I literally gave it away, didn't I, folks? You guys now know that I'm actually from Redacted, and Redacted means Outer Mongolia. So, the question here is, do we want to fight Venice? Yeah, we would probably get crushed by them. Why do we... Oh, because our own levies got crushed in the war against Verona, of course. I've always thought of Siget as high, Humei as middle, and Kargara as low. I think Kargara is more like from the pharynx, so low is probably the way to describe it. And so I think that actually makes more sense than I thought at first glance. That makes a lot of sense. They historically had a form of rapping, by the way. A lot of people historically had a form of rapping. There was also such a tradition in like Anatolia as well, and there we go. Do we ask for the larger levies here? What the hell? What the hell? We'll go for that. And then we can still pass it. There we go. And that's going to give us a bit over 3,000 men. Let's see if I can get another alliance. Maybe from Bologna. Yeah, Bologna sounds nice. Did you guys know? Bologna is the most communist city in Italy. And an Italian woman once told me back in the year 2023 that Bologna is the most communist city in Italy. And she was a communist herself, so I have every reason to believe her. What do we have here? 3,700. I think that's going to cut it, mate. Oof. Alright, I'm fairly confident, by the way, that we're going to get destroyed in this war. But this is the war room. This is not the building tall, developing your country room. Oh, that's interesting. What's the difference between economic base? Oh, so the number of subjects and institutions increases it. Okay. I was curious what the difference between economic base, wealth, and tax base was. Also, now you can see all three, which I guess is a nice addition to the game. Alright. So, it looks like we're going to go to war against Venice. Border distance, lax border, target opinion. And I'm going to first... Let me profess trust with Bologna. Ah, but it costs... I keep forgetting that everything we do here costs, like, diplomats. How much population can you raise? I'm not sure, but it's definitely a decent chunk of your population, I think. Yeah, I'll call in all of these guys. Maybe not make the Papal States a co-belligerent. We do not want to deal with them. We will probably lose this war. That's interesting. I mean, we have so many levies in our allied armies, though. So how are we going to lose the war here? I guess it's counting the Papal States. Oh, Target opinion, levy availability. So maybe if we were to wait a bit longer, we might be able to get the Pope to not assist them. But we would have to still declare war until the March of next year. You should conquer Italy in your Golden Horde campaign, by the way. I think for maybe like the last episode, like a bonus episode maybe, we're definitely not going to go all the way to Italy. Okay, so that one is done, that one is done. But I think we can give more privileges. That pushes towards innovative. Guild investments, really nice. Oh, we can get also production efficiency. We should also give that one out as well. And as you can see, we're just burger maxing here. Always good to have additional stuff. Pilgrimage. Now we can actually go to the Vatican on a pilgrimage. Oh, right, the Pentarchy. We are still Orthodox, right? That's actually a fair point. The Ghibellines. Alright. So the Guelphs seem to be winning. And they progress through the tax base of all members. And are we part of the Ghibellines? We are part of the Ghibellines. Wait, what was that? There was a sound effect, but what exactly was that about? Oh, also, I should probably change the name of the stream. Playing, so, okay. Let's say development maxing as Padua in 1.3 beta. There we go. Development maxing. That is a new addition to the Oxford English Dictionary, courtesy of yours truly, the War Room. And the Black Death is over. Looks like we lost 40% of our population, but honestly, who cares? Oh god, I forgot to move this guy around, didn't I? Yeah, let's get more control in Belluno. But it doesn't look like we can actually get anything like that. And I guess we've got all of the land integrated. Oh, of course. We are development maxing after all. Ah, I forgot to declare war. Oh, that is bad. See, I'm very forgetful when I'm streaming. I'm not nearly this forgetful when I'm actually playing the game on my own. Which is why I don't like streaming, but at the same time it's fun. Like, I don't like it in theory. And Aquileia got involved in a war against Naples, no less. Oh, so wait, is everyone involved? I mean, so is the Pope, but the Pope does not care. Even though we're improving relations with them, I don't think trust plays a part here. Gengiso Hanemos. That sounds hilarious. It's still not nearly as hilarious as Saint Muhammad Uzbek Khan, who first converted the Golden Horde to Sunnism, and then he came around and converted it to Orthodoxy. That was hilarious. That was like peak war room style stuff that you would see. Encourage migration, increase control. What do we want to get here? I don't think we want to get anything here in particular. We're not going to get a lot of money out of that. So you know what? We'll just, oh my god. Oh, how did we get, oh, of course, I gave away way too many privileges to the burghers. So maybe in order to, you know, even it out, I could give another privilege to the nobility. That's initial innovative push. So of course I'm going to grant them that. And maybe we can even grant them elite council for the additional stability decay. And that should cut it. That's going to be a lot of money, but you know, what can you do sometimes? Oh, what's that? Imperial Diet is in session. Seal the Golden Bull. This is new. The Pope and what army? The Pope and the army that he's raising from his lands in Italy, of course. Do we want to vote yes or vote no for this one? Like, what exactly does it do? Enable, leave the Holy Roman Empire peace. Forbidden unjustified wars against other members. What is, without the CV, okay. Golden Bull. Seal the Golden Bull. You know what, I'm just going to vote no, for the heck of it. Because I don't like the Emperor, I don't want him to get more stuff here. And you know what, I think we're also going to join the Guelphs here. The Guelphs want to remove Italy from the empire, don't they? Yeah, I'm going to leave the Ghibellines. And then in 2 years, we're going to change over to the Guelphs. And I'm not quite sure. I believe we're supposed to get like more events in order to change factions, but we only got one near the start of the game and we didn't get any afterwards. And yeah, I don't think we can actually win this one. And Aquilia, so Bologna has also basically quit afterwards. Ah, jeez. What do we want to do here, folks? Do we actually want to declare war on Venice? Because I don't think we actually want to declare war on Venice. I think we actually want to wait it out until the Pope is no longer interested in that. Saint Muhammad Uzbek Khan is just the statistical average name of all old world historical figures, truly befitting of a grand Eurasian. That is indeed. Yes, I keep forgetting about that too. Economy of the Union. Let's not go for this because I want to establish seniority first. Interesting that we got Parma as a union member. Rah, Italy maxing. Yes. Hello, Bat. Hello. We are Italy maxing indeed. And we are development maxing in Italy too, so there is that, which is always fun. And I think we can actually get decent amounts of money from the RGOs, even though we have pretty crappy RGOs here. Lumber. Let me build that one as well. Oh, but yeah, of course. I think they also doubled the base cost of RGOs, which is another factor that's going to make playing anything in the early game difficult. Ah, jeez. Paradox really does not like it when people have fun, do they? Because otherwise, why would you double the base cost of RGOs? Union over yummy cheese. Yes, Parmigiano Uniano. God, I do love a good Parmesan, by the way. Oh, or are we in the timeline where instead of Parmesan they say Parmesan? I don't know. Ah, yes, here's fate. I'm. It does feel kind of weird that nobody is talking in the chat as well. I mean, I'm literally talking to myself at this point. So that's kind of meh, I guess. Also, at some point our flag changed. Did it happen when we upgrade to a duchy? Because I have no idea why it happened. And now we have too many relations. That's interesting. So that's what having 3 alliances does to you in Italy, I guess. And there we go. The Pope is definitely going to get involved. This is just terrible. We are just messing this up in so many ways. Botted the views award. Yep. I mean, you guys know me. I love a good yap sesh. Shall we go for naval next? Or maybe go for centralization. I mean, we are building kinda sorta tall in Italy, so I guess centralization is the way to go here. And the Rettel has added some locations to the HRE. That's interesting. Yeah, 50 viewers low-key crazy. Do you mean crazy as in low or high, or why are people not speaking or something like that? And it is kind of interesting in that when I send out a video, it gets seen by like 3 to 5,000 people. And then on a live stream, there's only like 50 of you, which is kind of interesting. And all of you are lurkers, so none of you guys speak in the chat. And my boy here is Fatih, has to speak to himself basically. And he feels like a schizo, so please. Is that QAR? Have you read him though? When is at QAR? Oh, Sansu or something, right. Let's see, what do we go for here? Support the state is always nice, I guess, but maybe one of these others? This gives you a free RGO level, so I feel like that's nice. This one gives you pop promotion speed and peasant satisfaction. I'm not really sure here. Sponsor a cathedral. We get a cheaper cathedral, but I feel like the cathedral economy is not as strong as it used to be, so let's just go for this one. We're low-key just chilling. Yep, keep chilling, mate. Chilling is nice. Being chilling. Oh, 21% for more innovative. That is lovely. Increase and... oh, yeah. I messed up again, didn't I? I keep forgetting that passing parliament agendas makes your other estates more dissatisfied. And it does look like we're going to get the insurgents, but they just have 3 locations. That shouldn't be too much of an issue. Devouring strawberry cake. I wish I was devouring strawberry cake right now. I'm going to get like cake in a couple of days because we have a birthday coming up, not mine, but it's probably not going to be strawberry cake. That's not worth it. Instead, I'll just have to amp up the stability meter a bit more. I haven't heard of topping, but topping is definitely banana. Well, for me, I know that you guys are going to hate me for this, but I actually like Hawaiian pizza. Like, pineapple is nice. Pineapple is way underrated. And Venice is at war with the anti-Ottomans coalition. That's probably going to sap their levies quite a bit. So assuming we manage to get this CB done, we'll probably hit them while they're fighting against enemies of the faith. And this is just hilarious. While Venice is out there trying to go on like a crusade against the Ottomans, we're just going to backstab them and their ally, the Pope. Based. Thank you, mate. I'm glad that you find my rather questionable culinary tastes based, rather than just picking up a pitchfork and deciding that I should be put down. Banking in Zena. We also have banking now. All of these advances are going to be coming up right away. But of course, not just right now. Oh, also, let's say this guy. Well, he's 55, so he's going to die very soon anyways. Let's see. Oh, we can actually vote for Unified Treasury. Oops. Will you make a lasagna for dinner to get into the Italian spirit for this campaign? None. I already ate schnitzel, so we are going to become Austria eventually instead. Bananas, bro, you're not a real person. Did you know that in Sweden, they have pizzas topped with bananas and kebab? That is not a real person. Whoever invented that is not a real person. I'm Moldovan, so sorry for my English. It's my tree language. Wait, what's the second one? Russian? Or Moldovan is one? Romanian? Do you consider Romanian to be like a different language than Moldovan? What if you just went Shia and just Loken Tirano? Yep, Sweden is not a real place, I know. I'm just playing along, guys. I'm just playing along. You know me. I like imagining. I like imaginary places. Ah, this is just so bad. Yeah, there's literally no way that we're beating Venice. So I guess we're going to, I don't know, try and attack Verona again. Wait, can we even get any sort of a CB on Verona though? I don't think so. Yeah, they are not excommunicated, are they? Nah, they're not excommunicated. What if I were to change my rivals away from Mantua? Why can't? Oh, our opinion. We need to reduce our opinion of them, of course. And is that even possible? Like, let me increase diplomatic spending just a little here. Let me send another insult to Verona. And then we can rival them. There we go. So now we should be able to get... Oh, but are they threatening? I don't think they're going to be a threatening rival. They are a threatening rival, it seems. The stream's so peak. It's like a way longer video. I mean, I don't know, man. Yeah, 1 Romanian, 2 Russian. Okay, that's nice. What do we get here? Ooh, +5 communalism. Damn, that's going to be nice. Did they change that event, by the way? Because I remember it being slightly different, I guess. Sweden and Denmark don't exist. I mean, I don't know about Sweden or Denmark. But have you guys heard about my friend Atif from the location of Iskilip, who was actually hanged by the Venetian Crusaders for refusing to put on a Crusader helmet. Truly, truly a martyr for Islam. I'm going to Gotland for my birthday. Guess that it's part of a made-up country. I mean, the place is called Gotland. I mean, if it's supposed to be land, obviously, that's not a real place. Like, it's land. Why would you name a land Gotland? The answer is obvious. Yes, I do have land. I got land. No, we do not want that. Denmark is actually just Middelfart. København is great. Irland is the real Denmark. What? Oh. Yeah, of course we got the Noble Rebellion. but the good thing is, that just gave us plus 50 or something noble satisfaction. Oh, and also, can we perform a reduction here, or can we perform... Well, the reductions don't give us all that much money. I expected more from them. Anyways, I'll literally call all of our allies to assist us, even though we do not technically need them. And let's send this guy to appease the commoners. It's not going to last for us. All of our ferries... What the hell? I have Faroese weavers? Denmark has a bank called Sydbank. What's a Sydbank? Does it have anything to do with the hit animation series Ice Age? Also, is it just me, or are the morale icon, like the morale bar, is it different in this version? Australia is a real country. Of course Australia is a real country, mate. What's she implying? I've never heard of a drop bear. You should probably be aware of the drop bears, mate. The antipodes are mere fiction, yes. But not the drop bears. You guys should definitely be careful about the drop bears. Ah, Australia. Also, fun fact. To all the people who have been wondering about where the war room is from, if you check the language of my playlists, you're going to see something pretty amazing and probably quite unexpected. Alright, so at least the Jewelers Guilds are going to turn in a tiny bit of a profit. Might as well build them. And in general, the profit margins have just crashed. Like, we're not getting any sort of profit from any of those buildings. This is just generally nuts. It certainly looks like the Guelphs are going to win, so I'm going to throw my hat into the ring with them. And let us create an attack threatening rival CB. Or is it... there's literally no difference between these two. Just shows English. Interesting. Are you sure it doesn't have English parentheses something? Because it's supposed to. If it just shows English with no qualifiers, then something is probably wrong. Oh, and there we go. Della Scala is... What? Ah, we formed a union with Verona. Under Della Scala. Ah, God, ah, God. And holy crumbs, how did you guys manage to get the Bohemian Alliance? Really? Really? So hold up, what's like the union like? And we lost Parma, didn't we? Ah, that's just unfortunate. Yeah, whatever. I guess we'll just try to, build up and try to take over seniority from Verona. Gosh, this is so bad. This is so bad. There's literally nowhere for us to grow into. I guess I could try to grow into Ferrara, Bologna, and Mantua. I mean, this is pretty decent. And also, it should be fairly well developed. I mean, it's northern Italy. Everywhere is fairly well developed. You, the war room, what time is it at you? It's late. Yeah, it's late. I think we're going to break the thingy with Ferrara. I think we'll try to expand into Ferrara instead. And are you guys a threatening rival for us? Unfortunately not. But I guess I can figure out a way of turning you threatening. Let me build that spy network. And they're part of the coalition against Hungary, because Hungary, for some reason, managed to eat up Bosnia. Oh, also, oh wow, that is chunky haulage. First time I've seen such a chunky haulage in any of my games, basically. Republican electorate law. I feel like there was something important here. Probably the levy combat efficiency. Yes, I think we'll go for military rulership. 20% combat efficiency is probably going to be a decisive factor in our wars against the other states. And for this one, more stability sounds nice. And we also get additional commoners satisfaction, so that's nice. How dark is the sky? I don't know. I can't see the sky right now. How is France looking? Let me take a look there. But first, forgiveness can only come from God. Oh, wow. Mortain. So I have no idea why France released this entire region as a vassal. England ate half of Brittany. Blois is independent. Bourbon, I believe, is independent. Well, yes, it finally looks like England does have an actual chance at winning the 100 Years' War. So definitely, we're definitely going to go for that England run. Before Paradox nerfs them to the ground, of course. Let's see. Resolutions to vote on. Start low debate. Establish seniority. So do I want to establish seniority right now? Because I think they would become the senior partner. I'm not quite sure. Also, they changed the great power scoring. We haven't interacted with that yet, but we'll see, I guess. Now, where's the voting here? I think I'll maintain federal status. He doesn't like grass. He plays EU5. Of course. Of course I'm not going to touch grass. What on earth is a woman? Location says grasslands. Let's see. Does the location say grasslands? No, it says forest. Forest hills, in fact. Which is quite accurate, by the way. I've been wondering, is there a Bielefeld country in EU5? I know that the location exists, which is completely ahistorical. Oh, it's Ravensburg, it's not Bielefeld. That's unfortunate. Because we could have started as Bielefeld and become like Germany or something like that. And that would have been 100% historically accurate. Support the state, support... Oh, that's right, I was confused. Irrigation projects. Ah, that looks nice, that looked nice. I mean, all of the new stuff that they added is very, very nice. I guess we'll go for the monthly prosperity because, again, development maxing, go. Oh, they got a lot of allies, by the way, Ferrara. And it looks like they are actually threatening, so as soon as our truce is over, which is going to be in 4 years, we're actually going to go for them. Let's see, what is this? Wow, +5 innovative, +10 prestige, we're definitely going for that. Anything that gives you innovative is nice. And there we go, we got the university. I'll open our university back up so we can get the education of the elites policy. And of course, we are probably going to go for education of the people for the additional literacy boost, and the additional innovative and humanist push is always good to have. Can you make a communist country in EU5? I mean, in theory, there is a privilege that you can grant to the commoners. That's called means of production. So if you become a peasant republic and then grant them means of production, that would probably be as close as you can get to a communist country. And also, with the new patch, they actually added, if I can figure out where that one is, there we go, it should be over here, guaranteed labor rights. So I believe that's also going to be another thingy here, another way that you can become more communist. But of course, it's not going to be actual communism. It's just going to be LARP, as usual. And you know me, guys, we always like doing LARP anyways. And another council, this time Piero della Scala. But he has a really nice diplomatic ability, and his other abilities are also okay. So I think I'll accept him, I guess. Order of the Garter. Oh wow, that gives +5% efficiency of cabinet. That is very nice, actually. How did you become a member of the Order of the Garter, though? What was that location at the very northeastern corner of the French region? Which one are you talking about? Like, oh, well, right, that was like a Poland joke, of course. Also, I feel like this option here, may God uncover the fifth postulate, is something of a reference, something of a inside joke. But I'm not quite sure what it is referencing exactly. Oh, also, if we actually close the university, do we lose the education of the elites? We do lose the education of the elites, so we need to keep one university functioning at all times in order to be eligible for that additional boost here. That is interesting. Oh, Cagliari is adding lands to the HRE. And we got through most of the advances that we wanted in the Age of Renaissance. So let's see, anything else that we want to get back here? Maybe this one. I mean, that's nice, I guess. And then we'll go back to the Age of Renaissance, maybe grab the extra chancery level. This could be useful. Disease resistance is probably actually the meta here. And I don't think this is going to impact anything at all. We got the University of Padua. They also seem to have added this nice little colorful border to unique advances. So now you'll be able to see your national ideas, so as to speak. And then let's see, what else do we want to get here? Probably rag paper. Rag paper is nice. Oh, bureaucratic offices for the additional, of course, prosperity. And this will give you the ability to maybe get a bond No, banking gives you the ability to get a bond and increases your total loan capacity to boot. So that's definitely going to be nice. In fact, let me go for like this first. And after that, I don't think we want anything very particular. Maybe go for proximity speed because we will actually start needing more proximity at that point. And maybe, oh, okay, probably I should go for this first because the other countries are probably getting that. So that's going to be better for us in the terms of our ability to fight. And the papal control of Inquisition gives you a bit of estate satisfaction, a bit of conversion speed, and some additional stuff. And also the power of the coin. But we don't need anything else specifically. No, I want to create a communist heaven. The Sovietsky Soyuz. Yes, I also want to create a Soviet Union. Just not in E5. Are you experiencing? Yes, yes, Gulploppen. We are experiencing a lot of performance problems compared to 1.2. I would say that the tick speed is something like half of what 1.2 was like. We're really just struggling to get through the early game here, and it's going to get even worse later on. I'm quite confident of that. Oh, but we want to keep that, right? Because we want to keep the additional diplomats. Yes. There we go. Do you think they'll eventually make laborers be their own estate? So basically, what Johan has said so far is the commoners and laborers and peasants are the same. They're basically the same social class. And they only separated them so you do not just instantly build up all your buildings or RGOs, and they do not instantly get filled. Otherwise, they're basically the same as peasants. There is basically no difference in the eyes of the devs between laborers and peasants. It's just like a nerf to make economic development slower. And as you guys can see, there's another nerf in patch 1.3, which makes not only economic development, but also the entire game much slower. So I'm probably going to go back to patch 1.2 and complete a few more campaigns. And hopefully by the time that we are back, then they will have improved performance just thing. Well, we got 170k deaths, 136k from the bubonic plague, 29k or so from smallpox. So that is a lot, I would say. Let's develop this province as well, because why not? And at this point, we are just waiting for the truce with Ferrara to be over, so we can attack them, because of course, we could not attack Venice, and we most certainly could not attack Verona since we fell into a union under them. But Jesus, this is bad. Like, the game has slowed down to a crawl, basically. You know what? I'm just going to exit to desktop and come back just momentarily, folks. Because from what I remember, there is like a memory leak, which can sometimes cause you to just go, the game to slow down significantly. So let's just wait for a couple minutes. Let's go back to desktop and come back. And hopefully that should solve the game speed issues that we're experiencing. Because again, memory leak. Alright, another issue. Oh, there we go. It actually takes a long time for the Steam to recognize that I've closed the game and that I'm going to come back in a moment. Oh, also, this is just lovely. This is like the best UI, the best loading screen ever. I mean, just look at the details on these guys. Look at the paintings, the sculptures. The latest sculpture here, she just looks so cute, and the model in the background. And I think this is supposed to be Leonardo da Vinci because that really looks like the Mona Lisa to me. Or maybe I'm just, How many years till population-based countries are playable? Honestly, no clue, but it's definitely going to take a while. Well, it's not every 20 or so minutes. From experience, restarting every other hour or so seems to work fine for me. But in general, it's just bad. It's not good. When are you making a multiplayer game for us? I mean, I haven't played Paradox multiplayer in like, let me see. How long has it been? Gosh. 12, 13 years? I have no idea. Oh yeah, they did censor him, didn't they? Technically, it's not censorship. Technically, it's just like, you know, him being under construction. And as for the why, they probably did not want the game to be rated like Peggy 13 or something like that. I don't know. I feel like nudity gets you upgraded a lot in the rating system. And Mary's Mother of Jesus. It's not. It wasn't the memory leak. It's just the performance. Yeah, the game's performance is just that bad, mate. Multiplayer game as a stream. I mean, what we could do in theory is we could do like a stream. Okay, that doesn't change anything. And then you guys could play and I could like commentate. That could work. Because again, I'm not really very fond of the multiplayer aspect thingy. But yep, now it's not so stable. So we probably want to wait for a few more years, I would like to say, until performance has improved. Maybe not years, but like at least until this thing is out of the beta. And yes, Play C2, it really does. They did really say that technically they're working on the performance. Bro, no, I don't need any donations. I'm like running this on a GTX 5060 and a fairly decent CPU. Like the rig that I'm using right now is, I believe, something like twice as powerful as the recommended specs or something like that. And I mean, it's not supposed to lag like this. It definitely did not lag like this back in patch 1.2.x. They just managed to mess something up in the game, and that's just making it quite literally unplayable from a performance perspective. By the way, and I'm definitely going to get you your Gelayers done at some point. Maybe not in the immediate future, but you're going to get that, trust me. Bro, someone sent him a 5090. I mean, if all of you guys pitched in, let me see. How much does a 5090 cost? I have no idea. If all of you guys pitched in like $30, I could actually get that 5090. Have you done a Muscovy Russia run? I did not do that, but since the game is, basically going to crap right now, let me see what let me see what we could do about that. So most of the gold in the Urals is over here. Let's see, is there like a river here? There is a small river system. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, I think if you want to like maximize the value that you're getting out of this area, what you would want to do would be to place a local governor in Kishtim, but that would also consume the iron. So probably something like here, something like this location, that would give you fairly okay access throughout the river system. And from here you would be one location away, and that's just one river hop away from the gold. You would be 3 locations away from this gold, maybe 5 locations, but you can also like use roads for this one from this gold. So you would be in a fairly okay spot. But of course, this location has a population capacity of 39,000, and it's also in the Chingitura market. So you would have to manually move in a lot of people here. I guess you could expel population from Kazan and build up a city here for the local governor. So that might be it for the best local governor location. Again, assuming that the idea is to get maximum proximity in the Urals. And you probably want that. You probably want, because, you know, so many iron and gold locations. But other than that, I guess the best location as Russia to place a local governor in would of course be Novgorod, because all of your remaining land is basically crap. And if you look at the population map mode, I guess Tver might work. I'm not quite sure, but you know, in general, it's bad. It's not a very good start. But you're also going to go full land, so that might actually work as well. 2,600 euros. Wow, that is a lot of money for a single graphics card. I would like to donate, but starting to work only next month. Oh, congratulations! What are you going to do? What are you going to work as? Why pray to the sky if it ain't gonna help back? Just go Tengri and achieve flight. I wish. Also, why does it take so long for these CBs to get ready? Oh, because we are conciliatory. Why are we so conciliatory though? Because we are really deep into conciliatory territory. Let me see. Below half fort limits, civil society. So we probably want to change this one away into militarized society. And let's see. Do I want to go for this? I do, but it doesn't even impact them all that much. So we're going to go belligerent in order to go for the additional stuff there. Chachevik, thanks. No worries. I do eventually intend to do like a Muscovy run, but again, you guys know me. I've got so many runs planned, but each of them takes a long time, so we don't really have enough time to play through all the interesting countries in this game. But hopefully, it'll be 1 year, and in 1 year I will have gone through a bunch of them. And at this rate of uploads, I guess we'll be able to go through at least like 30-35 campaigns within the next year. So at that point, we'll probably be going down to some less interesting campaigns, let us say. And yeah, Padua is definitely interesting, but playing Toll right now in this current version is just not all that fun. I guess if the game was a bit faster, that could have been nice, but right now it's just very meh. Let's build another Jeweler's Guild. And God, like... So the issue here is this. Johan is trying to make the game slower so people don't just snowball within, let's say, the first 50 years of the game. But, unfortunately for him, the game itself, as in the tick speed, is not fast enough to accommodate that. So instead what happens is, people just get bored very quickly, and you basically, if you want them to keep playing until the 1700s, if you want the real boom cycle of the game to begin in, let's say, the Age of Absolutism, which seems to be the general consensus here, in that case, you want to make sure that the game remains easily playable, that the lag remains manageable until the Age of Absolutism, which is not the case here. Like, we're still getting so much lag, and we're only 30 years into the game. I mean, I've spent, how long has it been? 3 hours? Just getting through 30 years. So if you go for like 1 decade per hour, that's going to be a minimum of 50 hours for a campaign. And you guys know how this works. It's going to get worse. It is literally going to slow down even further in the later years of this campaign. Oh, this is why. This is why the nobility is always like, yeah, that makes sense. Just get money from the state. It's free money depending where you're from. I mean, trust me, it's not free money where I live right now. And it's arguably not free money where I'm from either. What is this, a history game? Just LARP or something. And Snowball. I mean, I actually agree with the general sentiment of Johan. I mean, I actually do want people to wait until the age of absolutism. I think that it would be nice if you actually gave people something to play for throughout the entire game. But to do that, you need to have good performance. And right now, EU5 has the shittiest performance. Or maybe the second shittiest performance. I don't know how Stellaris is doing nowadays. It was really bad the last time I played it. And also, I do intend to start playing it once Nomads releases, by the way. But right now, EU4, EU5, as of the 1.3 beta, has the second shittiest performance of any Paradox game ever. So that's definitely kind of bad. Alright, we need one more. Why is Franche-Comté a rival of Ferrara? Or wait, it's the other way around, maybe. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Can we get another alliance here? Maybe with Genoa? Yeah, I'll try that. But would Genoa join the war? They unfortunately would not join the war because they have poor opinion. Yeah, okay. Alright, we'll just wait for the next parliament. And then we're going to attack Ferrara. And by then we'll probably have all of our levies as well. But yeah, just right now it's I mean it's very boring, let us say, and the fact that the game is progressing so slowly doesn't make it any better. Wait, why is the development bonus from the court wizard so different? What do you mean? What? Oh, yes. Wait, what? Ah, that's because the values that you're seeing here are their cabinet traits. They're not like the actual stuff that's going in. Yeah, that makes no sense, by the way, but, you know, whatever. The Holy Roman Emperor is dead. Long live the new Kaiser of Bohemia, no less. Also, yikes, the development growth here is just slow. I mean, thankfully, we're getting a decent chunk from prosperity, and we're also developing the province and whatnot, but yikes, it's slow. Is there any chance that we can get some? Oh, we do have some Lombards. But we would need to have at least 1%, so we can start assimilating people, and this is all Emilian. We would need to have to go all the way to Milan in order to convert to Lombard culture, unfortunately. So that's definitely going to take a while. And well, if Genoa isn't going very forthcoming, I guess what we're going to do is we're going to try and figure out any other ally. Well, Austria is willing to ally us. That's interesting. Let me try that. And maybe Austria will come in which case we can just wipe the floor with the Ferrarans. Something, well, that's the thing. I actually, wait, what? When did we lose the CB on these guys? Oh, this game sometimes really makes no sense. So anyways, that's the thing. I actually agree with Johan in that, you want people to play the game for long. But the issue is the game is so slow that it's not fun to play for that long. I mean, if you could get through 500 years in like 20, 30 hours, instead of the hundreds of hours that it would take at the current pace, in that case, I would definitely agree with Johan and just say, make it last longer, make it be slower, let people, I don't know, let people like develop their economy in the third age and then expand their territories in the fifth age, deal with their religion and assimilation in the fourth age, that kind of stuff, which I think is the design intent here. But unfortunately, the game is just so slow. It doesn't work like that. People can't actually play the game for that long, and it's just bad. It's just bad. Yeah, so if I were to improve opinion with Austria maybe a bit more, maybe get more dip rep, increase trust, that could work. That could work. Well, yes, they do need to add more thematic gameplay loops. But the thing is, in theory, they do already have those gameplay loops. They're just very underbaked. So for the Age of Renaissance, you're supposed to set up your values, you're supposed to centralize your country, you're supposed to annex your vassals if you have them, and usually you're going to have a lot of them, and do that kind of stuff. And then in the next stage, you're supposed to explore the world, develop your economy, and also build up your navy so you get some sort of proximity, that kind of stuff. And then in the next stage, in the Age of Reformation, you're supposed to fight against the Reformation, but of course the Reformation is so half-baked, it doesn't even do anything. Nay, we desire spreading across the cartography without the slightest bit of resistance. Thy opinion is invalid. And yes, thy maternal forbear was fecund. I mean, you guys know me. This channel is quite literally named the War Room. And as you all know, all we do is war and war and war, and we do Roman Empire restorations, we do Mongol Empire restorations, that kind of stuff. But that is not the way. That is not how things are going to be, if you ask me, or how things should be. I actually agreed with the initial sentiment of having this be a slower paced, more historically oriented game, but they failed on that. And now they're also failing on satisfying the map painters, so I don't really know where they're going with it. Same is here, Monsieur Duchamp. I really don't understand why they're not just leaving everything aside and focusing on performance. And I know that at least in theory, it's like a game development thing. Like you can't literally leave everything and just have everyone jumping in on the performance. But, whether... we forgot to get more levies again. See, this is why I hate streaming. Because I keep talking about something with you guys and then we just forget about to do something. Yeah. You know what? Screw it, we roll. I'm 100% confident that we're going to lose this war, but screw it, we roll. And let me get at least extra levies here. Oh! Jesus. Wait, what? Wait, what? So we called the parliament into session, and then they just disappeared? How does this make any sense? Oh, I have no idea what's going on here, but, whatever, I guess. And how are these guys? How are these guys going to beat us? I have no idea how their levies are stronger than we are. Oh, our army was probably unbalanced. Ah, that's bad. Revanchism is pretty strong. I know that it reduces complacency, but what else does it give you exactly? Wait, let's have these guys restore their morale first, before actually marching on. They don't have any regulars either, so I'm failing to see how exactly they managed to defeat us. Ah, whatever. You know what? Let's try to siege them down and piece them out one by one. And performance is still really, really bad. I mean, in theory, yes. Huh. I have no idea why they desire land in Istria, but whatever. We're not going to give you land in Istria. There we go. So these guys are just hanging out in the north. And hopefully with some luck, they are going to start starving to death, but so are we. Can we ask for food access? Yeah, let's request food access. Vicenza. Alright. So, good news. We managed to trap them in the north. Bad news. They managed to escape the trap. Good news. They're escaping the trap one by one. And they're headed east, where they're also going to run out of supplies. So, we should be able to hunt them down and destroy them in detail. There we go. How many men do you guys have left? 3 stacks. Okay. And none of those stacks are larger than ours, so we should easily be able to destroy them. I'll go for this. Let's hope that the commoners aren't too upset with us. There we go. So that's going to be Mantua. And that's going to be, who are these guys? Imola. I think they're a vassal of Florence, maybe? And that's going to be Ferrara. Lovely. So now all that's left is the Florentine army. I'm going to head to Ferrara and we will try and siege down the city for realsies this time. I think I just ain't got no gas in it. And also, let's try to, I don't know. Let's see how much antagonism we get for one. What exactly do we want to, let's say, improve opinion with? Genoa, Pavia, Milan, maybe? Union contribution. Imperial treasury contribution. Oh god, we have 73 stability? I wasn't paying attention to that. Well, obviously I wasn't paying attention to that. You guys have all seen that. Oh. Let's leave behind like a 1 unit. And then try and destroy. Wait, not? Okay, maybe not. Oh, because they have city walls, so we left a lot more men than that. Alright, so we outnumber them 2 to 1 right now. We should be able to destroy them. There we go. Florence have lost. So I guess we can already get food from Verona. So we'll siege down Mantua and Ferrara at the same time. And in the meantime, I'm going to start improving opinion with basically everyone that we can get. So, yeah, you're not sure, but you thought we lost this one, didn't you? Yeah. Well, guys, this is why it's called the war room and it's not called the development room, because I'm good at war. I'm bad at developing. You guys joined up in Ferrara for some reason? Whatever, man. I'll just send most of the peasant levies to Mantua in that case. And we can keep sieging down Ferrara using the Achillean stacks. There we go. There we go. So, again, I guess we'll just watch paint dry at this point. Which seems to be... why are you guys... I hate the AI. I hate the AI with my entire existence. Literally hate them. I think we're already improving with Venice. Oh, we have improved a lot with the Pope. So maybe Pisa, maybe Siena. Who are the big guys? Who are the big shots in here? Lucca is a Veronan vassal, so that should be alright. We can't improve with any of these guys. Let me try to take more land. We can't take more land though, and is that... Why on earth did Aquileia occupy these lands? Oh, there we go. They're transferring them to us, thankfully. Who gets the actual antagonism here? We, the we war, we room, yes. So why is the chat died again? I guess people are either bored watching paint dry, or they're just focusing on the war at hand. So Parma, Cortona, Milan, Pavia, Pisa. What on earth? Why does Kilva have so much antagonism against us? Oh boy, I guess I'll just improve with Siena for now. Also, Siena is such a pretty name. I wish I could date a girl named Siena. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? Developing Vicenza, developing Padua, encouraging capital economy. Well, so are we, mate. So are we doing something as well. Also, I'm not sure whether it's just like the current campaign or if this is a general trend. But it does look like the AI is much less trigger happy with the unconditional surrenders. Using me as background noise. Well, as long as you're watching... there we... Speak of the devil. I told you that, you know, the AI doesn't unconditionally surrender, and they literally unconditionally surrendered. That is hilarious. We can also show Unity of Fate, which is really nice. Minus 10% unrest. Why not? It's just like 1 ducat. Well done, chat. It's your time. Ask me anything you want, and I will answer. Except, of course, where I'm from. So if we take this land, that would piss off basically the entire HRE, I guess. If I were to instead take Ferrara for myself, and then make Bologna... Oh, we can actually vassalize Florence too. We can actually create a lot of vassals here. Wait, what other lands do Ferrara have? Oh, they hold like 2 locations in Modena. Interesting. What? Whatever. If we make Bologna and Florence vassals, that's 87%. could even take Imola if I wanted to, but the question is, do I want to? And the answer is probably not, because all of this is going to cost us a lot of this, a lot of aggressive expansion, antagonism, whatever it is. So most of this is on people that we don't really care about. I guess if we manage to keep, let's say, Genoa, Milan, and Venice out of the coalition, that would be okay. And for that, we probably need like 100 improved relations with all of them. So I'm going to send you, my friend, to do diplomatic endeavors. And let's start changing stuff with you. Or maybe reduce war exhaustion, because we are going to get a lot of war exhaustion. God, I knew how to pronounce that at some point, but I forgot about it over time. Instead, I'm going to give you guys my favorite word in Turkish, which is muvaffakiyetsizleştiricileştiri veremeyebileceklerimizdenmişsinizcesine. Yes, that's a single word. Alright, the war exhaustion at least isn't climbing all that quickly. So we can probably get a bit more improved relations with most of these guys before we have to actually piece everyone out. And I'll even improve with people like the Pope, Pavia, maybe Urbino, I'm not sure. I don't think any of these guys are going to be an issue for us. Maybe Trent as well. I mean, just because I know the longest word in Turkish does not mean I'm Turkish. But like, I do speak Turkish, obviously, because you guys have seen me pronounce the Turkish place names in multiple campaigns. No non-Turkish person has that clear pronunciation. I do not know about that, my brother. Bro, spelling the whole alphabet. Yes, that's actually close. That's actually close. Alright, I guess we can afford to wait a bit longer. Maybe until we have like 5 war exhaustion, because we are definitely not going to fight anyone else for the foreseeable future. And ideally, I want to take as much land as possible in this war. Honorary Turkish. That is interesting, brother. Alright. I think it's time. Let me make sure we've got full diplomatic spending. The first video on the channel was Ottomans. You know what? I'm not actually an Ottomans fanboy. The first video on the channel was about the Ottomans because the Ottomans were broken at the time, and they were still broken. And I could basically, you remember the first video, right? The series rather. We basically restored, we did Mehmed's ambition in like 80 years or something like that. So that was basically it. So I did a save. I don't think we're going to get coalition to death, but that is still a possibility. Yes, it looks like. It looks like we managed this. Oh, that's interesting. So because we reclaimed lands which are supposed to be in the HRE, but which were held by non-HRE members, we managed to get an immediate, what it's called, integration on them, which is very nice. Anyways, let's see what the coalition is like. There's just a bunch of small Italian states. Yeah, none of these guys can really do anything to us, and that's assuming that they even managed to reach us. which is far from a given, let me tell you that. So now I guess we can move this guy away from improving diplomatic reputation, or maybe not. Let's move instead this guy away and start integrating Ferrara. And let's get, say, Mantua as our new rival. And also, let's start improving opinion with Bologna, Florence. And I think that's it. I think we only got 2 vassals out of that war. Rivalry declared. Demand unlawful territory. Ooh. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Rimini and Imola. Whatever, I'm just going to decline. I mean, it's not like the Emperor can reach us. We're all the way in Italy, right? He can speak all languages. I mean, my ancient Egyptian is a bit rusty, but other than that. Oh, we finally got a port. We finally got a port, yay! I guess we'll go for Navy audits, because obviously. We'll go for anti-piracy, because that's the only option. And holy crumbs, that's a lot of diplomatic spending. That's a lot of building maintenance. Do we need all of that? Wait. Why aren't we getting any trade income? Why do we have only 10% crown power? Gosh, that conquest really did a number on us. Wait, what? Oh god. Did they manage to break automated trade again? Oh, they managed to break automated trade again. Ah, seriously? Seriously? This is so bad, folks. This is so bad. I'm out of words to tell you how bad this is. They literally managed to obliterate automatic trading. Ah, jeez. We haven't been trading anything since the start of the game. What on... Unbelievable. They even changed the trade screen. So now we don't even get like the best trades listed for us. Where am I going to see? Oh god. Why aren't we getting any trade here, folks? See Billy Flea. I have no idea who Billy Flea is. Maybe if I cancel the automation, ironically that might work. We have unused trade capacity, and now if I were to re-automate it, nope. Literally no change. We can get... We can't even get any sort of trade going. Like, what the hell? I have no idea how they managed to break trade even worse. Like, even more than what it used to be like. Oh, this is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. We are literally not getting any trade at all. Okay, wait, what? Cocoa? Why is there cocoa showing? We don't even know that cocoa exists. Same here, I also love when Paradox changes a game mechanic that works, and then they just mess it up. How? Wait, so why are we seeing chili and clothes and cocoa, but we can't actually trade anything? Okay, sugar import? No? Or maybe... Oh god, are we not getting any trades? Because there are no profitable trades that we can get? Because that would actually be hilarious. So, oh, that's probably what's happening. So what's probably happening is we literally don't have any profitable trades that we can make because Venice is probably clogging up everything. Wait, what? Why does Trent have 50 trade focus? What the hell is a trade focus? Oh, it's an event. Oh, of course. Yeah, so obviously Venice is gobbling up all the actually profitable trades. So we don't have any trades that we can do ourselves. So I'll just have to close down the marketplaces. And then let's see what other buildings we want to close. The libraries probably not. The monasteries probably yes, because we don't have any conversion going on. The granaries I'm not sure about. We definitely could use some additional population. The bridge, no, none of those. Yeah, that's not going to change all that much because most of this money is going for the granaries, which I guess we could make use of by building some more masons. Yeah. Let me build up maybe a couple masons in Padua. Reduce fort maintenance quite a bit. We do not need the castle here. We already have the city walls and they cost basically nothing to maintain. So there is that. And I think that should save us. There we go. We are actually turning in a profit right now. And of course, we're going to get even more of a profit once we finally manage to get control up in Ferrara, because we are definitely going to get, let's see how much, 23% even without any sort of integration. So that's going to be nice. There we go. There we go. War, and it's a coalition war. But fear not, my friends, because the coalitions in this game are stupid and they have no idea how to actually fight. And furthermore, they're all going to be very divided. So if you see right now, they've got members to the west, they've got members to the east, they've got members to the northeast. And what we're going to do is we are going to march south and we're just going to destroy their armies wherever we find them. And finally, we are having some fun. There we go. So, anyone got anything to talk about? I don't know, maybe how to beat coalitions? There we go, that's going to be lovely. Nope, I actually do want to keep the works of art here. And let's destroy these guys as well. So if we manage to kill off like at least half of their armies before they manage to gather their forces, that should be fine. We should be able to win this. But if not, that's definitely going to be difficult. There we go. Hopefully we win this. There we go. And that means that the other coalition members are going to dissipate. Did we? Oh, no, we lost another one. We did win this one. And we're going to win another one. There we go. So this is basically why the North Italian coalitions are toothless. As long as you keep the big guns out of them, like Venice, Genoa, and Milan especially, you can just destroy them. By, attacking their armies when they're divided, preventing them from gathering their armies up, because we stand at the center of their three wings, basically. And we can just kill everyone. What's that profile pic? Are you asking me? For the YouTube profile pic is the EU4 logo that used to be on the game, basically. I don't know, when I was starting this channel, it was just like, oh, I've got this lovely little Ottomans game going. and none of the other content creators were as good with the Ottomans as I was. So I was like, let's just post it. What's the worst that can happen? And the channel was more of an afterthought, like the whole name, the logo, nothing else really. I didn't really put a lot of thought into it. Can you advise on mid and late game army composition? I mean, to be fair, with the way that mercenaries are right now, I don't recommend playing to the mid or the late game. The slogfest is just unbearable. And assuming that they managed to save the mercenary strat in 1.3, assuming that the supposed changes that they're going to make to that strategy are going to last, in that case, I would basically recommend until the Age of Reformation, going for, let's say, mostly cavalry armies, and then from the Age of Reformation onwards, building up mostly infantry. Because the cavalry definitely has a huge early game advantage, but from the Age of Reformation onwards, the infantry kind of catches up, and you can get more value out of them. But in the early game, it's definitely best to go for heavy cavalry if you can afford them. And if you can't afford heavy cavalry, you can go for light cavalry, which also has higher initiative. But apparently they're also going to nerf the higher initiative units with patch 1.3, so yeah, we'll see about that as well. And in general, it's a lot of, I don't know, we'll see about it, I guess. Because we really don't know how the changes are going to be with 1.3 and what exactly are going to happen to the game. 1.4 will fix the game. Well, I think it's going to be more like 1.15 with the way that things have been going so far. Let's see, can we get like the Veronese to attach to us? There we go. So now we should easily be able to destroy the enemy armies. Can I advise on not to be broke and actually afford decent PC? I mean, it's difficult, let me tell you that. I guess the best way of doing it is just finding something that you can at least tolerate doing. I'm not going to say enjoy doing, because it's very difficult to actually find something that you enjoy doing, which still earns you money. But if you can find something that you can at least tolerate doing, that you can do with at least a minuscule amount of passion, and start doing that for money, usually that works out. And let's go for... honestly, it doesn't matter, I guess. Bellicose movement, yes please, we want to become more bellicose. And I think I can go back to changing societal values. Let's try to become more belligerent. We definitely need more belligerence here. Do you play any other games? Well, I do actually. I mean, I was even thinking about doing like a video on Paralives, which is just released into early access. It's a life simulator basically. And then I thought, this is literally called the War Room, and I should probably not play such a cozy game here, because people are going to be dumbstruck, but I don't know. I'm playing like your speed 2 in my late game with my max monthly tick speed now. Yeah. But other than that, if you guys have any ideas, like if you have any games that you want me to play, definitely let me know. I mean, I'm open to all suggestions, all ideas. I think we're definitely going to do a couple series in Stellaris at least, once Nomads is out. But other than that, we'll see. Also, I might just, roll up the occasional Total War series. I was thinking about playing Medieval 2 on stream, because honestly I have nothing better to do. That could be nice. Let's see, I guess we'll go for that. We have a lot more stability than we need anyways. And yes, we're in 19th in Venezia again. Tri-City Skylines. That might be it actually. And it's so bad that, City Skylines 2 just failed spectacularly in the way that it did. Really unfortunate. Solar Nation 2, what kind of game is that exactly? Like, is it like a city builder, a GrandStrategy? It sounds like a GrandStrategy set in like the near future or something like that. When are you going to stop making all of these, like, room accusations or room jokes? Oh, we have a new Scala. And he's a cool guy. Okay, really decent stats on the rulers so far. Fingers crossed. Hope we don't jinx it. Alright, and I think we can go back to, let's say, speed 7 now. I'm mostly just running around hoping that we hit some noble villas for the pillage, or maybe, I don't know, get some, let's say, works of art like that. Because honestly, we don't really have anything better to do. I'm probably not going to take any land here. How about Manor Lords? Yeah, Manor Lords could be. I was actually thinking about that. But I'm not quite sure how to start exactly. Amerino. And I think that's going to be it for this war, so let's peace everyone out. Wait, why can't I peace you guys? Oh, because it's a I literally hate coalition wars in this game. I guess we could get a few more vassals, but I don't want to make the coalition grow even more. Yeah, you know what? Are any of these guys any good? Like, any of these guys have a decent, I don't know, RGOs? Something like that? No? No, they're just... Oh my, this is like the crappiest lands that I've ever seen. Province Pistoia. Area? Wait, what? Is that... Oh no, that's part of Florence. For a second there, I thought it was like a single location province or some other absurdity like that. You know what? I'll grab that to Florence, but we can't take it, of course. Yeah, whatever. I'm just going to go for this. Maybe dismantle forts. Maybe humiliate. Wait, isn't there supposed to be like also a dissolve coalition? There we go. I don't think that's going to matter. Oh, Gustav Bohn, welcome aboard, mate. Welcome aboard to the membership. Weehee! We got, what, 3 more members out of this? So I guess streaming really works. It really does force you guys to at least consider. So what we're going to do here is dissolve coalition, force action change, humiliate Cesena. Let's get war reps as well. Let's annul treaties, or maybe not annul treaties, because that's going to be a 99% war score. And I think we can make do with this. There we go. And we are back in peace. Ooh, so many anti-coalition treaties, by the way. Let me request another cardinal seat, this time on Ravenna. Another cardinal seat. Now, oops. There we go. Alright, so right now our main issue is the fact that we're basically not getting any money. Wait, what? The purchase of indulgence. Huh. I will get like an additional 1 ducat a month. That's pretty huge. Yeah, it's a near future, a solar system setting. I'll definitely consider Solar Nation in that case. It does sound nice. The near future setting looks nice. Oh, Marco Berdio, bye, mate. Also, I guess it's probably getting late for you European folks. So I'll probably end the stream in like half an hour. Well, we'll see that. Is this all coalition new? Never seen that. Honestly, I'm not sure. It's my first time using it. I've heard about it. I know that it exists, but I've never seen it actually. I've never actually used it basically. And I'm not quite sure how long the coalition remains dissolved for. If it's like not all that long, that's probably not worth it, but you know, we'll see. What if you went Protestant for a change? Well, Protestant Italy just sounds weird, you know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess we could try that, but I mean, there's no way that we can get to the Age of Reformation. In this save, just look at how slowly the time progresses. So I'm probably just going to chill here. And honestly, we haven't really done anything. Like the Guelphs versus Ghibellines thingy still doesn't seem to work. Or rather, maybe it does. But it doesn't seem to matter. Like, we've engaged with this quite a bit, you know. There's just nothing for you to do as part of this situation. So I hope that they actually change that a bit. Or maybe it's because we are not the faction leader, basically. So maybe if you were like the faction leader, we might actually, you know, fight around a bit, kill off some of these guys, try to get them to join our faction. I guess it kind of depends on what exactly you get out of the situation. Can I find the help window for this? Where's the hints? Guelphs versus Ghibellines. So does it tell you what you get? In case of a victory for the Guelphs, all countries within Imperial Italy will be forced to leave the Holy Roman Empire and will not be allowed to rejoin for 50 years. Additionally, the leader of the Guelphs will be able to form Italy without the requirement to own specific locations for 30 years. So I guess that's new. In case of a victory for the Ghibellines, all countries within Imperial Italy will be forced to join the Holy Roman Empire. Additionally, the leader of the Ghibellines will be able to request the Kingdom of Italy title from the Emperor at a much reduced requirements for 10 years, giving them an upgrade to the Kingdom Country rank. That's interesting. So I guess the way to really make the most out of this situation is to essentially play as the leader of the Guelphs, use the situation to make all of Italy leave the HRE, and then just annex everyone and then form Italy for yourself, I guess, because it makes it easier to form Italy if you actually end the situation. So I don't think that the ongoing situations are better in terms of their interactiveness. We'll see how it works with the the 100 Years' War. I think the 100 Years' War is definitely more interactive, at least for the British now. But in general, it's very meh, I would say. And the Western Schism is just the Western Schism. Like, there's not much that you can really do about it. I guess the way to really make these situations work for the player would be to simply hand out more rewards. Like, people like rewards. People like playing the game for rewards. So I'm guessing if they added some OP rewards to the Western Schism or the 100 Years' War or whatever, that could entice people to actually interact with these situations more instead of just hanging around. And also, of course, I should probably have accepted the Emilian culture. Yeah, that was definitely my bad. But anyways, they're accepted now, so let's put down this revolt first. Yeah. And then once the revolt has been put down... Wait, what? Wait, what? That literally makes no sense. And oh, our vassals were disloyal. Yeah. Oh god. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Okay. I guess we could defeat the coalition. Can we defeat the rebels though? Probably not, because it certainly looks like we're getting stack wiped here. Yeah, I guess it was fine while it lasted. But anyways, what the video called? I could also prepare for my math exam. There's a newly uploaded video of someone doing Jewish Ethiopia, huh? Nice. I was interested in going for that. Very interesting. I think I'll go for that as well at some point. But anyways, folks, it looks like our campaign as Padua has come to an end. Because as usual, I was careless and I just let these guys revolt, even though we could have accepted them. Or I don't know, maybe fought the war better. It's been a long while. Anyways, so thank you all for watching. Anything else that you want me to check out? Let me see. Let me go to the world map, for example. Is there like anything else that they changed? I guess Bulgaria has a new disaster now, so we could take a look at that. Only mission and rewards. Country change prohibited. There we go. Play as Bulgaria. How long do you keep your newly uploaded videos as members first? Well, it depends. It's basically like this. Whenever I'm done with a video, I just upload it. And usually what happens is I try to upload them, like I try to release them at one video per day. So it depends. Sometimes it's a couple of days. Usually it's not more than that. So it's not like you're missing out on a lot, and all of those videos are eventually going to be released to the general public. Twilight of the Tsardom. So this is the new disaster that the Bulgarian Empire gains. They're already part of it. I'm not sure if they start the game within this disaster or not. But I guess this is nice. Karvuna and Vidin does not exist. Is that new? Did they like add? Yeah, they probably added the Duchy of Karvuna as a new vassal, a new historical vassal. And I'm guessing it probably releases as part of the Twilight of the Tsardom disaster. Yeah, 50 stability, 90 legitimacy, greater than 50 locations. That's not too bad. The major issue being, you get impacted by complacency. Do you like oranges too? Yes, I do like oranges. Shredets is modern day Sofia. Interesting. When did they change the name? High complacency. Oh, interesting. So I guess this is how they managed to keep Bulgaria from spiraling out of control now. Because in the previous patches they were ahistorically strong. But also they were quite easy to destroy as a player anyway, so I don't think that matters. It was already released earlier there and exited back. Yep, I know. Does Bulgaria start as an empire now? I'm not sure, I think they do. Since the Padua game is kind of over anyways, we might as well go back to the menu and check out the starting situation. Let's see if Bulgaria starts as an empire or not. The Sultanate of Rum. It was so hilarious, people just commenting Sultanate of Rum under the Trebizond short. And nothing else, basically. Let's see. Come on, load up game, load up. I guess it's not just about tick speed, because the loading times are also significantly higher, and they do start as an empire. At the same time, they've been nerfed, so they did lose a decent chunk of land to the south. But I guess they do start as an empire. And in general, Bulgaria is just really strong. If you look at their content, if you look at the unique advances, crown power, monthly legitimacy, max literacy, chancery of the essence, 10% efficiency of cabinet, very nice. I mean, really good advances here. And more importantly, did they change that one? Let's see. I'm hoping they did not change it. Maybe they... Oh, wait. Government reform. That's an okay amount of satisfaction, by the way. Oh, there we go. They did not change it. So basically, there is so many monthly research progress bonuses in the Balkans now. You can just stack them sky high. If you go start as Bulgaria and then form Serbia and then form Byzantium, you can get like a plus 60% monthly research from your advances alone, and you can stack them even more. So I really think that they should maybe tone down some of the advances, some of the later game advances that Balkan nations begin with. John Connor, can I ask something? Do I actually need to spend hundreds of ducats on mercs? Coming back to the game after a couple of months, and I don't understand why soldiers are so expensive now. So if you come back after a couple of months, I'm guessing what happened was you probably missed out on patch 1.1, and in patch 1.1, they changed the... Oh, let's start as Byzantium so I can showcase to you. They changed the unit sizes, basically. So previously, in the previous patches, your unit sizes were much smaller. You had like 80-man cavalry regiments, something like 200-man infantry regiments, that kind of stuff. With the new patch, your regular unit sizes are going to be more or less similar. So you'll have 200-man cavalry and you will have 500-man infantry, and that's why your units seem to cost so much. Because essentially you're hiring 2.5 units of cavalry or 2.5 units of infantry compared to the previous patches in a single unit. At the same time, regarding the mercenaries, the meta right now is that the AI is going to merc up, and usually it's a good idea to match them in terms of the mercenaries, at least in the early to mid game. Ideally, you want to expand as much as possible in the early game, and then spend maybe the next 50 to 100 years consolidating your gains, so you can research the armories. And once you have researched the armories, that will allow you to build up, if I can find the armory. Once you research these guys, that will allow you to build up your regulars, and usually regulars beat mercenaries 1-to-1. But of course, right now the game is kinda broken because the AI just hires infinite numbers of mercenaries, which is kind of unfortunate. But other than that, you do not necessarily have to spend all that money on mercenaries. Also, as of patch 1.3, as of the open beta that I'm literally playing right now, mercenaries are going to get nerfed. So they will be much more expensive to hire. And also, the AI is not going to have as much money to hire them. So once 1.3 has been released to all of you guys, mercenaries are not going to be the meta anymore. I still think that they're the meta as of patch 1.2. And as for the border differences, yes, Byzantium now owns all of Rhodope province. And also they own Philippopolis over here in Philippopolis province. So if you look at the actual provinces map mode, they got this area, they got this area, and they got these two locations. So Bulgaria is slightly smaller right now, but Byzantium does not have cores on any of these locations. So most likely the opening Byzantium strategy is still going to involve releasing a vassal over here in these parts, probably as a pronoia that you can later on inherit as usual. They also removed that nation that had been added. Yep, they did remove Strumitsa, but Strumitsa gets released within the first few months of the game, and jeez, we are back to 1337 and the game is still insanely slow. Just look at that lag. It's not just tick speed either, FPS is also down. There we go. So they get released within like the first 2 to 4 months of the game, and other than that, everything else is the same. So I guess the Red Hawk really managed to play these guys within the 1 week or so that they were playable, and nobody else is ever going to be able to play them again, which is just hilarious. But anyways, that's basically how things are going in the Balkans with the new patch. And I guess that's going to be it, folks. I guess that's going to be it. Anything else here? So, you know what? What the heck? I was feeling very nostalgic for Medieval 2 Total War, I was going to play that one. So I think we're going to end the EU5 stream here. And I'm going to start playing Medieval 2 Total War. You guys don't have to stick around for it. I was going to play it on my own anyways, so I might as well stream it, I guess. So I guess we're going to end the stream here. Let me know if you have anything else that you want me to answer about EU5. I'm going to take a break for like 5 minutes, and then when I'm back, we are going to continue with Medieval 2 Total War. And yes, I know how utterly unexpected that was. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all once again in the war room in like 5 to 10 minutes.